Oh
I
my
cannot wait
legs.
to tell you about the dream.
I know. You said you're saving it for the podcast, so.
What Burger King is that from?
What? I don't know. We got it a long time ago.
I think
Not
Didn't
from
Pete and
the
Dan give you
Taste It guy.
You're right. You're right.
like after Grandma Myrtle's funeral.
Taste the goodness of the biscuit. Well, there's a reason why I'm wearing it.
Mm.
All right, let's do this thing. 3, 2, 1.
Testing.
Go Nintendo Podcast, Webisode 876, the Indeedee Podcast. MomBrain,
Yes,
Well, indeed you do.
you want to tell us about
Indeedee?
Indeedee?
Indeedee I do.
Indeedee Mega Doo-Doo.
Indeedee.
That's the one.
Indeedee! This Pokemon picks up on the positive emotions of other creatures via its horns and uses those emotions to fuel itself. That's so nice. 2 feet tall.
Energy vampire.
Yeah. But it's positive emotions.
Okay.
So,
All right.
2 feet tall, 61 pounds. They are only male. And the category is emotion. Abilities include inner focus. That's how we know this is made up. It's a male who's incapable of inner
got
focus.
him.
Whoa.
Roasted.
The Pokemon's intense focus prevents it from flinching or being affected by
Sorry,
intimidate.
what was the joke?
Oh, this guy's good.
And synchronize. If the Pokemon is burned, paralyzed, or poisoned by another Pokemon, that Pokemon will be inflicted with the same status condition. And that's all I have to say about that. Now that that's out of the way, happy Pride Month, everybody!
Thank you, MomBrain.
Happy Pride Month to everyone.
You look like you were looking for a sound effect there. I was waiting for it.
Happy Pride Month.
Okay. Pride.
Yeah.
MomBrain is here.
Sure am.
Nicky
We're a
Hill
couple
is
of
here.
Proud boys and girls. Oh wait, that
No,
sounds bad.
Definitely not. Definitely not.
Nice to see you, Nicky Hill. Deux is here. Get that out. No. Intros are very serious. My best friend from college days, Josh Grobot, is here. Josh, how are you doing this lovely weekend?
I'm here to grace you with my presence.
Thank you for joining us. As always, we appreciate it. I hope we didn't take you away from too much this week. I know you're a very busy guy, always in the studio recording
Hanging and
something,
banging.
hanging and banging. And of course, George is here. George, how are you feeling?
I'm feeling real good. Thank you.
Real lime, real good, says George.
Alive and well. But
Alive and well. George, you're the best. You know, so many, Jesus, I don't know, years of lime-related puns, and you just keep them coming. Keep them fresh like a lime.
Hey, dude, could you reach up and turn that light on, please?
Oh, yeah, I forgot.
Oh, it's dark.
Oh my God. Look,
Yeah.
you can do it in one fell swoop. I'd have to stand up, I
This
think.
man's amazing.
Oh, wait. Did that just turn the internet off?
It's possible.
Internet's been wonky today.
Glonky.
Glonky.
Glonky and wonky. Let me say hello to the lovely people who have joined us in the Discord as soon as I get there.
Be the first to say hello to them.
Nope, I'm an idiot.
You said it.
All right, now we go. Hello
Not
to
me.
Mom Perfect Brain, Highland Tom, Super Sanchez, William George, Roth, the 8-Bit Lego, Backseat Studios, Nico DeRunia, Armored Frog, lovely plush collection, Armored Frog. Look at all the friends there.
That is a long
We
name.
got we got some real deal Squishmallows there. The man's got a collection. We got Gengar, we got Pikachu, we got Snorlax, we got Totoro,
There's a Goomba
we
in the
got
back.
we got a Chespin, we got Fennekin, we got a Fire Emblem character in there. We got what's the cat ears blue hair? Is that a Hatsune Miku plush?
Ooh, Sly Cooper in the background.
Yeah, is that
Nice,
what that
the
is?
Goomba back there. Yeah. So who else is in the background? Let's take a look. Oh, look at that. Ness and all the gang is in there in the background.
And
Yeah.
The Blues Brothers. Did you
Look,
say that?
the Runaway Five are back there too.
Are those Amiibo? They didn't make Runaway 5 Amiibo.
They did not. No, they're just I remember they released official figurines, but
Wilford
those look
Brimley.
official. We got a Link Nendoroid back there. We got, oh my God, you got a
Can you say that now?
Nendoroid?
Oh,
We got the character from One Shot, the plush from One Shot.
That one-shot one's a Nendoroid pillow, actually. Doubles as a
I don't
Sorry,
know
that
if
was
there's a Nendoroid
hemorrhoid
pillow.
pillow.
Actually.
No,
That's
it's not
a
that
good,
funny.
Good question. That is awesome. I didn't know they made a plush of that. I'd like that. That's really cool.
Who's the Wilford Brimley looking guy?
That's Dr. Light from. I'm just kidding. That's
That's
the
Dr. Ann Donuts
the
from
doctor who
Earthbound.
hates his son.
And donuts.
And Donuts.
Hmm.
Dr. Ann Donuts. And Porky and all that. Man,
Speaking of
that's a
donuts,
collection
did you
of
see the
fun
TikTok
stuff.
I sent you today of all those donut places?
I did not yet. I
Oh.
was excited to watch it and I forgot.
We got. It looks like we got a little somebody off to the side too. Sneaking off the back there. Not allowed in the photo.
Not allowed in the picture. I'm trying to look at the arm and
Something
it's
green.
coming to me. That I recognize that arm. But anyway, Armor Frog, I'm sure will tell us. Who's there? Drake, good to see you. Anastasia Beaverhausen, nice to see you too. Oh, by the way, if you don't know what the hell we're talking about, go into the Discord and you'll see. Look at that! Awesome. Oh, it's a Fan Gamer plush. Even better. I love Fan Gamer. Man, that's awesome. I wonder if they have Shiny Rayquaza or Rayquaza, however hell you're supposed to say it. That was the arm that I was trying to figure out. Sure.
Wrong.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
There we go. I gotta look if Fan Gamer has any other one-shot stuff. Like I would love a one-shot T-shirt from Fan Gamer. Fan Gamer is awesome. Great stuff on there. All right. Thanks for joining us on this weekend, you lovely people. We're glad to see you. We have some things to talk about before the podcast really gets going, as always. But MomBrain apparently had a dream that she wants to tell me about desperately, and she saved it
Starting
for the podcast. So, MomBrain, go right ahead.
Well, it's because it involves the podcast crew and friends. It was a very vivid dream. We were at like a con of some sort, but we were going to be presenting. We were going to be a panel for some kind of
At the Cannes Film
convention.
Festival? Wow.
Oh yes, that's us. And so we were all there, and there were like a ton of other GoNintendo people there, and we were all just like hanging out, having a great time. And we were going to do our panel on the second day. By the way, I have no idea what we were actually going to talk about, and that's not the focus of the dream. However, so we're at the first day of the convention, and we think we're there to see one panel, and Raw Meat leans in and goes, "Surprise!
It's free real estate."
Surprise! This isn't what you think it is." And in walks the entire original cast of Twin Peaks.
Wow.
And everyone else in the audience is asked to leave except for the GoNintendo crew.
What?
And
I like how they ask people to leave after the cast comes in.
Yeah,
It's like,
right.
this is what you're gonna miss, everybody. Now get out.
Kyle MacLachlan is like, "So, MomBrain, I hear you're like a big fan," and I'm like crying, and I like, you know, when you wake up and you feel like you've been like crying or feeling the emotion, and the only thing, he's like, "We have an hour, all of us together," and I'm like, "Oh my god!" And the only thing I could think to ask him did David Lynch script the nose thing that you do to Harry when
The number one question, of course. Yeah.
well, yeah.
And he's like, what the hell?
Yeah.
And he was like, "Oh no, that was totally off script." And, you know, it was just like a little inside joke between the two of us. And I was like, "Well, did Miguel, who plays Albert," I'm like, "Did Miguel know? Because it's right before they go out and like meet him." And he was like, "No, nobody else, like nobody saw it until like the show aired. Like it was a surprise for everybody, like a little Easter egg." And then I spent the rest of my time like linked in arms with Kyle MacLachlan while everybody else just like chatted and whatever. And he
Nice.
was like, "It's so nice to see you. It's so nice to sit here with you." And I kept going to Rami, like, "You did this for me?" And he's like, "Yeah, of course I did this for
Just
you."
because your birthday's
Imagine-
coming up.
You know who I am? You know the pull I have?
We're because I know a lot of the cast members have since passed away. Like, were there like dead cast members
Yeah.
there too?
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
I was going to ask,
yeah.
are they?
Yeah.
Are
I pulled
they?
some string. I
Miguel
pulled
was
some strings,
there,
what can I
like
say?
everybody. Yeah,
Laura
are they-
Palmer
are they
was there?
then- Are they then?
they were
age?
then. They
No,
were
that's
like
her
from the
sister.
show
Her sister was
age.
So it was like a young come.
Oh, that's
like
great.
everyone was just
Yeah,
young and-
yeah. It was, except for Kimmy Robertson, who was the age she is now, but she's
I can
pretty
pull
much
some
looks the
strings
same.
in some areas. I don't know about raising the dead and reversing age. So
what I really remember what I left the dream with was this like sweet, loving kindness that Kyle MacLachlan had about him. Just like,
I don't think that was the dream.
Yeah,
I think that's
yeah,
reality.
yeah.
I
Man,
believe.
Pressure's, I just gave you a surprise birthday party last year.
oh,
Now
I don't
gotta-
want any. I don't
And
want
this
anything for
year
my birthday.
it's a log from Twin Peaks. I swear it's the one the log lady held. Just don't look into it any further.
I won't look into it at all.
I thought I said that weird as well.
No, I don't. I don't want anything for my birthday.
But what about this guy? His birthday's coming up pretty
Real soon.
I just want everyone to be proud
Well, we are every day.
Of you or
of
of ourselves?
Do you know what I'm gonna do? Do you like
Oh,
s'mores?
I love
Happy
s'mores.
bel-
That
Belated-
recipe you just found? I'm making it for his birthday.
Oh,
I'm excited.
happy belated 2 days belated birthday, the 8-bit Lego. I hope it was a fantastic one. I hope it was the best one you ever had in your entire life. Until the next one. Well, MomBrain, that sounds like a great dream. I hope all your dreams going forward are just as good. Oh boy, a belated. Yep. 8-bit Lego says I saw Spider-Verse for it, so it was
Alright.
pretty good.
Nice.
Well, I guess we could talk about that without spoilers, of course. We saw Across the Spider-Verse last night. It was amazing. It was incredible. It was.
Did it need to be over 2 hours long?
Well, that's
for
funny.
a
We were making
cartoon?
those jokes beforehand.
Yeah.
And then which led us down the rabbit hole of how long is the original Little Mermaid versus the live action one. The original Little Mermaid, how long was it? I should say the Disney animated classic, The Little Mermaid, how long was it?
90 minutes.
90 minutes.
Okay.
Looking at you, Nicky Hill.
I can see that. Oh, you're looking for the
I guess.
time?
Yeah.
I'm gonna say the live action is what?
No.
What?
I'm just asking animated.
The animated first, and then we'll talk about the live action.
What am I saying then? She just said it was 90 minutes.
I'm guessing.
She's
We're-
guessing.
we're all
Wow.
guessing. Yeah.
I
What
thought
you said in the beginning is exactly
I'm
right.
sorry, you guys just had the conversation. I thought you would have known the time.
No,
You're thinking about
he's-
guys.
yeah. So here's the thing. So the only folks who saw the Spider-Verse movie were MomBrain, RMC, and myself. Nicky Hill was not with us, and then the only people who were a part of that 90 minutes or running time conversation were me and RMC. So the two of you, MomBrain and Nicky Hill,
Okay.
you're
Thank
going to
you
be
for
guessing.
clarifying, because he just said
how
we had a
long.
conversation about this, and then
I can see why that would be confusing.
said, "What? How long was it, Mom?"
I gotcha. I gotcha. So anyway, she guessed 90 minutes.
85 minutes.
It was an hour and 22 minutes.
24 minutes. So he's
24
only
minutes.
1 minute
So
over.
That's right.
Still
Right
lost.
rules.
Still lost.
But the live action Little Mermaid that is out now is
93
the
minutes.
same
Brace
length
yourself.
as Spider-Verse. So it was 2:15.
Wow.
So yeah, we checked the news, and I didn't see a lot of young parents unaliving themselves. So I guess the running time's not affecting anyone.
Because we were talking about, we were making this whole point of, I was like, I know the live action movies, yes, parents will take their children to go see because it's a Disney movie, but they're made more for us because we've already seen the animated. So they're like, now go see it again with your kids. So
Is that why? I thought they were just trying
Yeah.
to usher in a new.
The money.
well, if they would usher
Yeah,
in
new
a
money.
new, then
I
they
knew
would
the
do
money.
usher in the new money.
yeah, a new animated. Yeah, they're doing it live action because they're like, well, then that way we can get the parents too because they have memories of the original and now they want to see how it's changed since that one. But yes, 2
I can't
hours and
imagine
15
sitting in.
minutes.
I mean, well, I haven't seen the movie, so I shouldn't say anything. It doesn't seem like my cup of tea. But 2 hours and 15 minutes of that movie probably would. That's like torture. Like you could probably
Yeah, but-
torture me with that.
But Wakanda Forever was like half the Little Mermaid, and that was a long movie. Those were underwater.
Half the Little
Those were
Mermaid.
underwater people for half the time.
I was wondering where the connection was
yes,
going to be.
So
Okay,
was I.
all right, okay.
I didn't know what you're talking about. But anyway, we saw Across the Spider-Verse and we loved it.
I kind of want to look at that as like a comparison, because the trailers for the Little Mermaid, the underwater stuff looks weird.
Well, they're not really underwater.
I know.
Just want to clear that up.
And so maybe that's the difference.
But they
because
were for
in
Avatar
Wakanda-
2.
in-
Maybe that makes a difference.
Yeah, so
They
watch
see
that
they
too.
were and they weren't. Like there's lots of
They
stuff
weren't
where they
talking-
are underwater, but there's lots of stuff where it's all CG
in
too.
Wakanda Forever, they weren't talking underwater though either, right? The people who lived underwater weren't like speaking underwater.
They were talking through their eyes with glances and
Yeah.
nods and looks, but yes.
Maybe that's the difference.
And we all loved the movie, right? We all were blown away by it.
Loved it.
Which one?
Across the
Spider-Verse.
Spider-Verse.
Across
yes.
the Spider-Verse.
And our theater in particular, at the end of it, they had like a very visceral reaction, like a kind of like a mind blown reaction at the end of it. They were very vocal about it, which was great to hear. So
Yeah, I drove to a theater at 10:30 in the morning. There's traffic. I got to the theater at like 10:31, or I was pulling up to the theater at 10:31, but I got a phone call as I was driving, so I kept going and I went home and dealt with what I needed to deal with. So I didn't go see the movie yesterday.
that's great to hear.
You were
It
gonna
did
go
like
see
a-
In
it?
the morning, yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's like, less crowded, cheaper tickets.
It's
Uh,
an amazing movie.
Anastasia says, I would like
I love
Hobby to
Beatles.
be my boyfriend, and I would happily become Miles or Gwen's new stepdad. It's man, is it something else? It was whole. I don't even know what to say. I mean, I'm a huge fan of the first one, but Dew and I were talking about this last night in the theater. We think this one might be better. I think if you're just talking a purely visual standpoint, this one I think
Yeah.
is head and shoulders above the
Yeah.
original, which and the original is
Shows.
incredible.
Yes.
I mean, I know it doesn't exactly capture it, and maybe it's like overplayed, but it was like an experience instead of like a movie. Like you were just there to consume everything that was in front of you because there was so much to be like experienced. Like,
The
the
imagine-
music was great. The
Music was awesome.
all the, like the color and the movement and the attention to detail was like so like wholesome, but not in like a content kind of just it was like such a
Yeah.
I don't know.
Super Sanchez says, I don't know how you top the first one. We were thinking the same thing, or at least I was, because I hold that one in such high regard. But
Longer running time,
They
that's how you
really do. Like I was so surprised, and like you said, MomBrain, color in the movie, like the use of color, not to just visually impress, but to tell story and set mood, and just it was.
Even like the way the
Amazing.
background
Yes.
was animated, like the style it was animated in,
Yeah. So
like
great.
changed with emotions and dialogue. It was great.
But even if it were, say, a straight up animation that wasn't distracting you with beautiful, like different styles, like it was still great, like a great script, great
yeah.
acting, great story. You were
the
you were
acting was so
involved
good.
the
I mean,
entire
acting,
time.
right?
Everybody was really good.
Everybody
Those
was
voice
great.
actors.
It was their effects were amazing. Their
Was-
efforts.
Their
Damn it.
efforts were
Was Chris
good.
Pratt in this one?
Maybe in the background somewhere. There's a lot of Spider-Man in
No,
there, so maybe
nobody
Chris
puts
Pratt
Chris
Spider-Man.
Pratt in the background.
It was
Yeah.
there's all kinds of fun surprises in there. The humor was really good. The story was very emotional and exciting, and it was just the way that Miles' relationship with everyone around him is deeply explored in this movie versus the first one. It killed it. It was so good. Plus, on top of all that, this is just a me thing. I love Spider-Gwen so much, and it was so great to see her be a major part of the story. She wasn't just like window dressing. It was she's a major player in this movie. So, man,
Now they already like you said, they already said what was going to happen, right? So like the people who were gasping last night, they just didn't read the news about it or what? So I
well,
can-
hold on,
'Cause
hold
I
on.
didn't
I don't want
know
to get.
either.
I don't want to
Sounds like a
get
spoiler.
too
If
into
people are
things.
gasping in the movie theater, let's not
The
talk
only
about
thing
it.
we knew beforehand, before this movie came out, was that it would be two parts. That's what
Okay,
we've
cool.
known that for
So
years.
I didn't know that. A lot. Kevin knew that, and
Whoa!
RMC knew that, and I guess like nobody in the theater knew that.
I
but
didn't know
RMC. So like,
Thanks for the spoiler.
I mean,
everyone was
they
gasping at the
said
end,
that
but
right from the beginning
Good for
multiple times.
Good
but,
for you, Mr. Internet.
You knew the movie exists.
I don't know what it is about an experience where, because here's the thing, you can watch the first one,
Hi, sir.
and when it's over, you're like, they'll make a
Mhm.
sequel, but it doesn't feel like it doesn't feel unfinished. This is clearly like, you got to wait for the next one. And I don't know why, but I love that in the theater. It just, there's something so, I was like, I want to stay here until the next movie comes out.
Finishes, damn it.
Yeah, like I want to know so bad. And I was so stupid because like the movie's going on and on. I was checking my watch and I didn't feel like it was long, but like I was still checking my watch just because I do that to kind of gauge how much time's left. And I wasn't even thinking like, there's a lot of story left, and I wasn't even thinking that. I was like, well, they're wrapping it up right now. It's wrapping up. It's wrapping up, right? It's gonna wrap up, right?
So like 5 minutes before where all this other stuff is introduced, and you're like, how are they gonna pull this together in 5 minutes?
I was, oh man, and like, yeah,
Hi,
it's
Sneaker
great.
Hacks. Good to see you.
Great film.
Well,
Holy cow!
I mean,
was great.
Is Across the Spider-Verse 2 parts, or is that
Yes.
it's just that it's part of a trilogy?
No,
and-
it's 2 parts.
because I
That's
expected
why
I expected it to
feels-
be a trilogy because it's
Well, you're getting what
into
you
and
expected
across. But I would expect a third story to like
then. So you're
like
saying a 4th
Homecoming-
movie?
well, no, it would have been a third, but now you're saying that the second movie is split into 2 different movies.
Yes.
So now it would be a 4th movie. Usually they make the third one twice as long, not the second one, but spoiler alert.
I would still call it a trilogy. I don't know what the parameters
Yeah.
are, but like
Part 1 and part 2 of a movie can still be a
and I don't
trilogy.
think,
yeah.
and they're not calling it part 1 and part 2. Like the next one's called something.
I don't even
Spider-Verse,
know what the
something. I
next
don't-
one's called.
He said it. They said it in the thing, didn't they? At the end, it was like Spider-Man will return in.
Did it
Spoiler.
say a name?
Yeah, it said whatever the Spider-Verse, or maybe
Oh,
I
Did it say Spider-Man or Spider-Man?
don't know. Maybe I was looking at something else. I
Spider
don't know.
people?
I wasn't
Could've
paying
sworn
too much
it's-
attention to that at the end because I already knew there wasn't an after credits thing. So I was like,
Beyond the
we're out.
Spider-Verse.
oh, well, there you go.
Let's just finish
There
out that
you go.
spoiler. Just round it all up. Anything else?
What? It's called Beyond.
Yeah.
The next movie is called Beyond.
But yeah, I just and here's the thing: I don't necessarily
great.
want. I don't want or really, really love like a 2-part movie that's going to leave me hanging. But it's just that like, especially with the movies that we go and see, there's going to be sequels, but they're all contained in their own movies. So there's just something like nice and wrapped up about them. And it's just like, well, we know there's going to be another one, but we saw this one and that's that. And there's just something that takes a little bit of my wind out of the sails, where this one was just like, I don't know. It was like, now I gotta see the next one. I gotta know what's gonna happen. And
Well,
Were they
I cannot
making
wait.
them at the same time, so it's not going to be a long wait then?
I don't know how long the wait is. All I know is the story was written. Like they already, all that's done. The story's been done for a long time. They just have to. Same thing we said about the original Spider-Verse movie. I can't imagine how they storyboard this thing. I can't imagine how they write it out and design like how they're gonna work through everything as far as like camera and
2024,
animation and all
so,
that
yeah.
stuff.
That's a
It's
good
like
question.
mind blowing. I can't understand how hundreds of people come together to make this cohesive presentation.
They just
It's
use AI,
Nuts.
I
It's
think.
not. That's what it is. Whole movie's AI. Yeah.
Like, 4 of us come together and can't make a cohesive podcast. So
That's right. So there you go.
According
We
to
love the movie.
IMDb, it's 2024. So I guess they were creating them at both at the same
Man,
time.
that'd be cool to see it sooner than
Not,
later.
not far off. Moving on.
The first one, when did that come out? 2018 or something?
I feel like it was 2018 or like, yeah, something like
I
that.
don't know.
But who knows?
I had this thing I was going to. What's the matter?
Nothing.
Yeah.
Your face, man. You act like I'm the weird one. I'm looking at you, and you're like, you looked at your phone, and you were like, and I was like, oh, something bad happened.
Have you
I-
called him weird?
I
No,
ha-
right? He's just the one bringing
Yes.
that word into it. Okay.
has she called me weird?
You just said, you're looking at me like I'm the weird one, but you.
Oh, yes, she's called me weird many times, and I don't disagree with it. It's correct. It's a correct assessment. There was something I was going to read to you guys from Reddit, but I went to go read it today, and it's gone. It's been removed because the people don't want you to know the information.
Oh no, what's the information?
So the Game Boy camera, we all know. Well,
There's a camera now.
long time podcast listeners know
And the Game Boy had a camera, and the Switch has no camera. I mean, what's going on here?
that the Wii U had a camera and it failed, so
Going
they
back
took it
in
out.
time. Back in time.
Longtime podcast listeners will know that there's that thing in the Game Boy camera of the very weird looking man. that says,
Oh, isn't that like a horror? Yeah,
yes,
it's
what are you
horrible.
running from? And somebody on Reddit was like, I have figured out who that man is in that picture. And I was like, I started reading it, and the guy was like, when I used the Game Boy camera as a kid, I always saw this, and it kind of weirded me out, and I didn't know who this was. And I was like, oh, I'm going to save this for the podcast. I went back today, gone, deleted. Whole thing deleted. Like it never
So did
happened.
you not
No,
delve in and get all the info?
saved it for the
or-
podcast. No, And now it's
Wow.
gone.
And that's a little sketchy, isn't it? That it's gone.
I know, right? Somebody. Well, that's what I'm getting at here.
But if you
Now we
didn't
know you're running from
Yeah.
that guy.
If you didn't read the whole thing or look into the whole thing, I mean, it could have been just a setup for a joke. You know how people on Reddit love to joke, like so. It was probably like,
You're right.
"Oh, this," and then it's like, oh, it was John Travolta, and then it's like, then people downvote him.
But it
into
wasn't
oblivion.
removed because, like, it says why it's removed, and it wasn't removed. It was just removed by the author. So it wasn't like this violates the guidelines or this was satirical. It was just the author took it away.
It's like Inscription.
So we don't know. It's
Send
gone.
someone to the house and get. Never mind.
He. I know you were looking at him and he was gone.
Yeah.
Well,
So-
I initially thought of Inception, and I was like, that doesn't make sense. And then I was like, oh wait, he
What's
said
this guy talking
Inscription,
about?
And I was like, what's
Inception.
Inscription? I don't remember that movie.
Hi,
Oh,
Lane Quinn. Good to see
It
you.
was the game. What about the game is tied into? Oh, and then you said it, and I was like, yeah, I get it.
And the whole time it seemed like you knew exactly what I was talking about.
Stone faced it. So yeah.
Not even close.
This confirms that I should be scared of this guy, and he's out there killing people, silencing those who are trying to spread information about who he is.
You
He
think he
works
took-
quick.
His Majesty.
Well, I guess we'll talk about that very quickly.
What's the
As
the guy? Rich? Is it Ramirez?
Richard Ramirez?
Yeah, right. The serial killer. Is that who he was?
Sure. I don't know. I know the name Richard Ramirez. That's all I can tell you. Your Majesty, as I think we've talked about on the podcast, when I go on my walks, I have certain things that I do every single walk. When I get to the manhole cover, that's at the point where I turn around, I take 5 steps to recognize animals that have passed in my life, just because it's something I do. When I go down one part of the road, there's what is that thing? What's
I don't know.
Stanley?
I don't know.
Some
It's like a-
electrical
yeah.
box sticking out of the ground that somebody drew a face on, and I pat it on the head and I say Stanley. Named it Stanley because there was a Stanley truck or a Stanley van down the street. And then the last thing I do is there's a frog with a crown, and I say Your Majesty, and I point to him.
Oh, is he gone?
Except not today.
No.
He's gone.
What?
He's gone.
And he's like a little lawn frog ornament kind of
Yeah.
thing.
Gone.
Somebody stole it.
Where did he go?
But just today,
I
he
bet
was
you
there
somebody
yesterday.
stole
He
it.
was there
And
yesterday.
he's like
gone today.
hiding. He's like tucked away. It's not like he's on somebody's front porch and got swiped or
His
something.
pedestal,
Oh,
his
interesting.
lily pad, or whatever it is still there. He's
Maybe
gone.
Maybe he turned into a real boy.
Oh my God! Maybe
Oh my God.
maybe
he,
maybe it's good
uh,
news then. yeah.
Maybe he finally got rid of his job.
Hey!
Oh,
Maybe his princess
definitely.
came and gave him a kiss.
That's got to be it. So I am wearing the crown today in honor of my Majesty, who is missing. I hope to see him again someday, but gone.
Oh my gosh, your life just turned into a real live Tears of the Kingdom. Now
What
you're
do
gonna
I
have
do?
to go save the
Yahaha.
kingdom.
What do? I do? I don't know what I do.
Yahaha.
And then before we get into news,
Wart.
as I said last week, SEGA was sending a package.
Oh yeah.
Sega.
I confirmed in Discord the package came. It came a day early.
Oh my goodness.
Are you opening it?
Came on Thursday.
You haven't opened it yet?
I did open it.
Where is it?
I'm gonna get it.
Do you want me to get it?
No, I'm gonna get it. It's fine.
It's not.
Does
what we
anyone-
think? Is it?
Well, do you want to make your final
you-
guesses?
You said Crocs.
Yeah, we were kind of excited
Or
that
you
it
were
was going to
hoping
be
it
the
was gonna be
Sonic
the
Crocs. So.
Yeah, I don't know. We went through multiple things of what it could have been. I said I hope it's the Crocs, but I thought that was the least likely. And now I will go get it. Are you excited?
I am excited. I'm still excited.
Was it the?
Actually, I have a note right here.
Was it on the table? The dining room table?
Don't you worry about it.
Okay.
I can't even. I was gonna read the note to like play up what it is, but I can't because it starts off. Well, whatever.
Enjoy this thing. Here we
Here
go.
it is, everybody.
Oh, it's a notebook.
A notebook.
Sega says, get the graph paper out and start your exploration of a sprawling labyrinth in Etrian Odyssey Origins Collection, arriving on Switch. It's out now, actually.
I can understand why they wanted to make sure you were home for this delivery.
Says, we will be reaching out to you soon in regards to your review guide and game code. That is true. They reached out
So it's graph paper.
and they sent me literally a book of graph paper.
Oh, I can make like little mazes.
Because a lot of Etrian Odyssey is drawing out maps and stuff like that. So thank you, Sega and Atlas. I appreciate it. Very nice. Not anything we guessed last week, but there it is.
And here it is, your homework for the next couple of weeks.
You know,
The
I
graph
feel like
paper.
our guesses would have been different last week if they didn't let you know in such advance, you know, as if it was like they were sending you a piece of gold or
Well,
something.
it's my fault that I didn't think Etrian Odyssey because I was thinking Sega, and it is Sega. Sega owns Atlas. Sega does publish a game. I don't know why Etrian Odyssey slipped my mind because I probably would have went to that, but I didn't.
Interestingly enough,
Linkius Maximus. They say, hello, RMC podcast crew and peeps, long-time GN reader, listener, first-time Discorder. Thanks for joining. Get ready to be disappointed. Go ahead, MomBrain.
interestingly enough, the unit that I just started for grad school is on equal interval line graphs. So
So here you go.
equal interval line graphs and converting data. I mean, descriptive statistics, multiple targets and dimensions. I mean, we're
Are you
really
taking a class in the Etrian
yeah.
about the
Absolutely.
Etrian Odyssey?
Yep.
Is Etrian a place? Etrian?
You'll have to play to find out.
No.
Also, since you were so worked up about it
Oh,
last
how
week,
cool.
Oh.
that's
So
the Game Boy
cool.
game that
Man.
company sent. Hello, Solid Master Link.
Did you try it in your Game Boy?
Oh, that's a bummer that they can't put boy up there, but I get it.
I haven't
understand.
tried it yet. No, I haven't tried anything.
Oh, is it because you haven't been able to
Gave me a
acquire
sticker,
a Game
too.
Boy?
No, I have a Game Boy. I have a
How
Game
about
Boy.
So just before you do anything disastrous,
But thanks to Mega Cat Studios for sending me that prototype.
That's a cool logo.
that's not
Oh,
a
it
Game
is.
Boy in your kitchen. That's a refrigerator.
What's the name of the game there, Nicky Hill?
Kudzu.
There you go. I will be trying out a
Kudzu,
prototype.
send me a Game Boy.
Oh, I'll be trying out a prototype brand
I
new
love that
Game
it's,
Boy game.
he looks like somebody famous. I can't put my finger on it. Like
Now I want to take a look.
Does it bug you that it just says game up there? Should say Game Boy. Or
I-
at least
it
the
doesn't-
game should be off to the left a
It
little.
doesn't
so we
bug
know.
me. No, I mean,
maybe
I
they can't, right? Because that
they,
the
it's
licensing.
a
or
it's a
something?
prototype or it's a you know, what's the word I'm looking for?
Illegal?
Proprietary?
Not illegal. Yeah, it's you can't do the Game Boy cartridge because that would be illegal. You can do a whatever. Reasonable facsimile. Hello, Tony De La Mancha. I don't have the analog.
That's
I
all I'm
love
saying.
both of you. I love both of you. Are you being serious? Like you really would like it over to the left, or is this a bit?
I mean,
I shouldn't do this in the mic. I'm sorry.
if you're gonna just go for it,
I
just
mean,
go
it's
for it.
it wouldn't stop me from playing the game if I had a Game Boy to play. But like, yeah, no, it you know, from a kid who owned a Game Boy back in the day, I remember what the cartridges looked like, and it didn't just say game on top. I'm sorry.
It didn't. Yes. but
I
they
feel like some
legally
of them
can't
didn't
do
have
that.
anything on
That's a
top,
Dave's
though.
Auction
If-
Game Boy game.
They did.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's a great.
Prototype,
I
is that
thought
the
they
word
all
that
said
you were-
Game Boy.
Is that the word you were looking
No,
for?
no, no. 'Cause
Dang
it's not a
it.
prototype cartridge. It's a prototype game. It's just like a, like I said, whatever.
It's a prototype.
They
game-
should have
game
at
game.
least had the grace to do what Tengen did and make the whole cartridge look different and weird.
Well, Tengen did that because they weren't allowed to put out games on the NES. They couldn't go through Nintendo's program, so they reverse engineered their own everything, and that's how they released
including
stuff.
the shape of the plastic.
And at the time, nobody was like, "Are these officially approved by Nintendo?" It was just like,
Sweet RBI baseball.
yeah, it was just
balls.
like, put it on the NES. That's it.
Ice Dilbert wants to know how it tastes.
Oh, I think I want to taste the prototype. It's not the
I'm not
final
gonna
taste.
it, but it does smell like new plastic.
It's
and
there
not
you go.
small enough to
Dude,
swallow,
dude,
so I can't
really thought you were
imagine.
just gonna be like, I haven't had lunch yet. Huh?
Looks like a Velveeta slice.
You're right. This
Does.
person on this cartridge is driving me nuts because I also think they're reminding me of someone, and I don't know who it is.
Oh, a little bit like the guy from Stranger Things, maybe. I can't remember his name.
Yes.
Oh,
Like the reporter
Yuri
guy.
or whatever.
Yeah. Well, no. Yuri is
the
right?
American guy with the beard that helps him out, the conspirity theory.
I thought his name was Yuri. So
Oh, is
His
it
name
Yuri?
I don't
Or
know.
is the other guy's name?
I'm probably wrong. I'm horrible at remembering names for TV shows. And
Speaking
characters.
of, quick segue for Stranger Things reminds me. I think of that every time I'm in the depths,
Sure can,
or
Solomon
as I
Link.
call it, the deeps. But oh well, there goes that prototype.
Only one like it.
This is a one in a lifetime piece. There's no other like this particular
There you
piece
go.
in the world. And as you can see, it doesn't say Game Boy.
Oh, shovel.
Just to take it to Tears of the Kingdom real fast. People talk about the voice actors for different characters in that game, but has anyone talked about or spoken to the person that does the efforts for Link?
It's the same guy. It's always been. So
But
I don't
who
really
is
think
it?
they
Like,
talk
Yeah,
about
it
it.
seems like that should have been a thing where we're like, who's
we're
the
always
efforts
talking
guy?
about, oh, the voice of Zelda, oh, the voice of this person, oh, the voice of Ganon, and no, like, he's not speaking lines, but he's doing all the efforts, and like, yeah, who is this person? Where are they?
Yeah, it's the same guy. You can look him up. It's
Just
the
look him up
same
on my
guy.
own time. Okay.
It's the
Okay,
guy
well,
who does
I'll
the
look-
Daytona
No,
sound.
I
I'll
know.
look
I'll
it
just
up
go
now.
to a news outlet that does.
Daytona.
Well, I'm not
news.
reporting that the same guy who's been doing it for 30 years is still doing it. If there was somebody new, I would talk about
Well,
it.
what's the difference in doing the efforts for this as opposed to the efforts in Twilight Princess?
Yeah,
or
why didn't
something?
they just record all the efforts back in Twilight Princess days and reuse them?
Well, then
Save
they
some
sound
moolah.
like
Kengo
you hear, like, in the
Takanashi.
background.
There you go.
What's his first name?
Kengo.
Kango.
Kengo. Kengo
I understand.
Takanashi. Kengo Takanashi sounds like the name of a shrine you'd find in the game.
What is
Huh.
the other? It's like, what other stuff does this person do?
What else does
Probably
this guy do?
Yeah, what else would you need? Probably living a fat life off of this, like Martinet.
I don't know about
You
that.
know, they don't screw those guys over at all.
He's an anime voice actor.
Oh, okay.
Don't worry, do your
Wait a minute.
best.
How long has he been doing this? Like 30 years? Is he the oh boy smooching time person?
Oh, he is.
No.
Oh, I thought you said he's
No,
been
he
doing Link for like 30 years.
the
Not all
efforts, I
versions
guess.
of Link. Not all versions.
Gee, it sure like I love how under that premise, the guy recorded that and they were like, we're gonna keep him around for 30 years. He's excellent. This guy's perfect.
boring around here.
Let me see. I'll call out notable things. Oh, he did a voice in Scarlet Nexus. He did a voice in. I mean, he's in a lot of anime. That time I got reincarnated as a slime.
Some of my favorite efforts are like when he's climbing and he's like,
He's got a couple new noises in this one for Link's new abilities, and there's like one where it doesn't sound like Link at all. It's like a something like that when he's when something like when he fuses two things and it's weird to him, or I don't know what it is, but it's a noise that I'm like, oh, that doesn't sound like Link at all. But what are you gonna do? All right, let's go to news, please, MomBrain. This is a serious news program.
Yes.
Thank you. We don't have confirmation on this, but we do have some scuttlebutt.
Scuttlebutt it for
So
us.
as you know, E3 is not around. We're not doing E3 this year. Nintendo is out. PlayStation's out. Then the whole thing's gone. And Nintendo hasn't done a traditional E3 press conference in a long time, but they do usually a Nintendo Direct, like a big Nintendo Direct sometime around E3 time traditionally. Last year was a little different.
Doo-doo.
And people are wondering what's Nintendo going to do this year. Nintendo obviously hasn't said anything. We know they're doing their Nintendo Live 2023, but that doesn't come with the presentation as far as we know so far. But a inside source over at Kotaku says they have heard that Nintendo will have an additional showcase this year. They didn't say specific timing or anything like that. Now, obviously, I don't think it's crazy. Everyone knows that Nintendo will have some other digital showcase this year. But will it be like a big full-on Nintendo Direct with a whole bunch of surprises and updates? Or will it be a digital showcase? Or will it be something else altogether? Will it be an indie showcase? Who knows? But word on the street from the sources, the people in the know, believe there will be some other things to look forward to this year, because some people are like, well, you got Zelda, you got Pikmin, and then that's it. Obviously, that's not going to be it. So you will hear things.
1-2 Switch Extreme.
That's not the name, and I was saving that
Everybody.
for later.
Oh,
but
everybody.
We'll get there.
Everyone, everybody,
That's the one. Everybody.
everybody 1-2 Switch or something.
Every 1-2 Switch. No,
How
it's,
wrong?
it's
are
got to
we?
be
Laugh
everybody.
at us and call us idiots.
Everybody 1-2 Switch. You're
I'm
right.
not. I'm just letting you guys go. It's just fun.
We're asking for confirmation.
I said I was going to cover that story later.
His
Okay.
favorite thing is to see us dangling off the edge of a cliff and like laugh and maybe like step on the fingers a little bit.
Everybody 1-2 Switch do.
Thank you very
That is
much.
the
It's due
correct
out
answer.
June 30th, actually, of this.
Man,
year
the-
of our
all right,
Lord,
well, let's
2023.
go to it. We'll do that news.
Sorry,
then.
we were just talking. We were having a conversation. Is this interrupting?
The
Hey,
king
don't
of
talk about the news during the news section, okay?
that was
ruin
literally
the
our
flow.
last news story, and there's a whole big discussion about it.
Oh,
But
there is a big
now,
discussion. We just had it.
all right. Let me read the comment, then I'll let you guys do the rest of the news. The
And
king
there's
up
a bigger
north.
news story
Poor
that came
RMC.
after.
The king up north says, while I know they won't be releasing it this year,
What?
They're
Everybody 1-2 Switch?
yeah, exactly. They're not talking about that. I'd love for
Is that
them
what
to
I sound
announce
like?
their next gen Switch at this showcase, but knowing Nintendo, they wouldn't want to mess up their holiday sales, so they'll announce it at the beginning of 2024 and release it at the beginning of the next fiscal year, either spring or early summer 2024. That's all speculation, just to make that clear.
Smart.
All right, well, everybody 1-2 Switch fans at the table, I'll let you go into the story.
Oh, that's it. It's coming out June
You don't
30th.
have to. Yeah, you don't have to. Be, I don't know.
No.
What I
we're
think
doing
is-
it.
What
And
I
you
think
guys
is
were clearly
bigger
very
news,
excited to talk
actually.
about it.
I think it's much bigger news.
You're going to ruin another story now and then not talk about that one too?
We're talking about it. We did
we're
talk
talking
about it.
everybody 1-2 Switch.
Not
Tell
every-
me about it. Tell me the whole story behind it. Tell me the reaction to it. I want to hear
Somebody
the
was
story.
like, "Hey, I want to make a game," and
I
they
don't
put it
want to
out,
be here.
and they were like, "Oh, this is fun, but not everybody's playing it. So let's make a sequel called Everybody 1-2 Switch, and now everybody can play it. Fun for everyone."
Even that horse mask loves it.
Hey, he's the host. He's got to at least pretend.
Oh, he's the host.
He's
The
the,
mask-
host.
That's
not-
where the mask came from.
No,
From everybody from 1-2 Switch, the original.
No.
Oh.
He's the host of Everybody 1-2
That's
Switch.
none of your business.
So the because I've seen this horse mask in like real life.
Yeah, it's very popular in Japan. It was popular here
Okay.
for a while, but like that, there's lots of like comedy shows and variety shows in Japan where somebody is wearing a horse mask.
Okay, so that's not official Nintendo merch.
That is not official Nintendo merch. Not yet.
The
Not
Epona
yet.
mask.
No, yeah, no. Well,
the top comment is King Broly, and King Broly says, okay, that's pretty random." So yeah, everyone's talking about
what's so random about it?
Everyone's talking about
What's
it.
so random about it?
it. I'm not King Broly.
I know. I'm asking you for the news.
So I didn't.
They're putting it out.
I couldn't really focus right now on rereading it, but I read this article earlier in the week, and if I remember correctly, and I probably am missing a lot. People were, I guess they were working on this game. Everybody 1-2 Switch, and then it wasn't going well. So then people thought they were going to cancel it, but then all of a sudden they didn't cancel it, and now people think it's going to be a piece of crap.
All right, so
because of that.
there's parts in there that are correct.
All right.
Well, I mean, I think it's all part of the system. It's all part of the ploy, because they're like, this isn't going well. We're gonna scrap it, and then they said 1-2 Switch, and then they're selling it now.
That's
No,
actually a
everybody
really
1-2
good
Switch.
marketing plan. But
1-2 Switch already is out. This is Everybody 1-2 Switch.
Well, I think it's 1-2 Switch everybody,
not what I'm reading
or
here.
everybody, comma. They forgot to put the comma in the graphic. Everybody One,
There
two,
is-
switch.
There is one piece. I guess there's.
We're never getting
Do we
done
call-
with the news.
Do we call?
It's okay,
A
this is the
hyphen
last news story.
punctuation?
Okay, good.
Well, then there's two pieces of punctuation in there. There's the hyphen and the exclamation point.
Where's the hyphen? I should see.
Is it a dash? or a
It's in
hyphen?
1 and 2, in between 1 and 2.
Not in the graphic there.
I see that.
In what you typed out, perhaps.
Glad to have you back, Nicky Hill. Glad to have you back. So here's the full story.
We
since we're
we
doing
can't
it.
stop this guy from giving his opinion on every story he writes. I mean,
No.
You're right. It is not in the graphic. You are correct.
Okay. What's the big story? What's the big scoop?
So
This is
all this stuff
ridiculous.
Deux said about them saying we're having trouble with it and it might be canceled and then it wasn't. Nintendo has never ever officially spoken about this game until this week, and they said, "Here's everybody 1-2 Switch. It comes out June 30th." That is the only time Nintendo has ever spoken about this game ever. Almost exactly a year ago, rumors came out that Nintendo was working on a successor to 1-2 Switch, and they were inspired by the You Don't Know Jack series for their direction. So they put together this idea where you could play it with Joy-Con or you could play it with cell or smartphones, and it'd be another party style game like 1-2 Switch. Nintendo put it into play testing, and the play testers really didn't like it. They didn't like anything they played. They didn't like the host, all this stuff. And then we heard that
Awfully fussy,
the
wasn't it?
localizers that were working to bring the game, get it ready for its localization. Rumor has it they were calling the game Horse Shovel because they didn't like working on it and they weren't enjoying their time with it.
And
So
because the host is a person in a horse mask.
that's right.
Also, he whispers the whole time.
so they've got horse shovel in Japan as well. Like they've got
no
that
localizers here.
Term. Oh, I see. Sorry.
So they did. I don't know if they have that term in Japan. That's a great question. They have horses and they have masks over there as we discussed. And then also we heard that Nintendo was thinking, what should we do with this game? Playtesters aren't liking it.
different
How much
testers.
should we price it? Should it be a physical release? Should it be a digital release? Should we scrap it? Should we make a presentation for it? Nintendo didn't know what to do about it. So it took a whole year's time. What happened in that year's time? We don't know. Now, the rumors that we know about, or the rumors that we heard about this game was in development and development didn't go well and playtesters didn't like it. Again, those are all just rumors, but those stemmed from this source, Fanbyte, that was saying they're making a sequel to 1-2 Switch. It's got a horse and blah, blah, blah. So all that is verified now because we can see that. So you would have to believe the other stuff we heard is also true. So
For everyone listening,
how much has
this
changed?
is a lot more than what is on this page here. Never would have gotten this whole story if you listened to me.
That's right. Yeah. Oddly enough,
You'll never get news if
oddly
you listen
enough,
to me.
if you read my report, I even link to the original report that we
Yeah.
did a year ago to give you all that back information too.
We're
But
not doing that.
yeah, exactly. Not doing it.
By the way,
So hold on. Let me just say this
No.
one point. We do not know what Nintendo has done in a year's time. Did they just sit on the
I
game
was gonna
and
tell
now
you.
they're releasing it? Did they do things to tweak the game? Have they enhanced it? Have they changed things? We honestly don't know. And here's the real truth. We'll never know because Nintendo's not going to tell us that stuff. So you have the rumored information, which certainly seems factually true at this point, and what Nintendo's putting out. But we will never have Nintendo say the gameplay tested poorly. We didn't like
Yeah.
this, that, or the other thing. And here's what we did in the meantime. We will never hear that ever.
but if the game comes out and people enjoy it, then it's safe to assume they kept testing it and changing it and tweaking it and improving it.
No, because how many times have you heard stories about movies that have tested horrendously and then they put them out that way anyway and they became classics? Like,
Not often. I more often hear movies that tested terribly. They
Okay.
change it, and when they release it, it's horrible. And they're like, "Well, this was the original ending," and people are like, "Why wouldn't you just leave that?"
okay,
Because
so
it
Nicky Hill
tested
says if the
horribly.
game comes out and you like it, then they changed it.
I don't know.
Do you have examples of famous movies that happened to? I didn't know that.
I'm not off the top of my head, but yes, I mean,
I feel like
it's
it's always the
happened.
other way around, right?
Because I feel
It happens both ways all the time.
My feeling is, if you're going to have a test audience, why wouldn't you listen to what the audience says? It's almost
Well,
like if you want
because-
to do your own thing, then don't have a
because
test
the people
audience.
making the movie don't want the testers. It's the studio that does the testers.
But then wouldn't the studio be like, it tested poorly,
A
change
lot of
it?
times, the
Yes,
studio.
and the people that make the film are like, those people are idiots. Put the movie out. This is what the changes
So they
you want.
fight then.
Basically, look at the episode of The Simpsons. You got Poochie because of the test audience.
That's what he's going by. That's
So,
his.
yeah,
That's,
that's
his,
all of it. It was
Yeah.
all a ruse for
Okay,
Poochie.
okay.
Yeah, I'm not saying testing can't provide important information. It certainly can, and it can steer decisions, certainly. But you never want to just do what the test audience says, because 9 times out of 10, the test audience doesn't know what the hell they're talking about. They just
Right.
I want a Poochie in it. So when the game comes out, the only truth we will know is we'll never know what the situation is for this last year. Nintendo, unless Nintendo comes out and says it, I guess they could, but I've never seen Nintendo
if they're
do that.
anything like me, they probably spent the whole year going, well, should we put it out? Maybe we shouldn't put it
Yeah,
out.
Nintendo seems like that.
Should we put? Maybe
No,
we'll put it out.
I heard. Now, I read this on Reddit under most controversial, so don't take it with a grain of salt.
The information,
But I heard-
you guys getting your information from some dubious
But I
sources
heard that they're releasing it now because Tears of the Kingdom's doing so well, and they're like, you know what? We'll just like lay this out at the end of the month, and no one will leave it. Like if it's bad, no one will even know, and we'll make it $30 so people will buy it.
What does
Well,
Tears
the
of the
original,
Kingdom have
the
to do with
original
anything?
was like
though?
$30
Because Tears of the Kingdom's like killing it, so they're like, we'll hide this under average game, below average game, under the wave of Tears of the Kingdom, and no one will notice. Look, it's most controversial on
Yes.
Reddit. I don't think it's true.
Everything's got to be a conspiracy theory. I don't understand. Like, if anything, I guess you will put out Tears of the Kingdom, and then people that do pay attention to video games would be like, you follow it with this garbage? Why would you do that? That's what I could see the
Oh
internet
yeah,
saying.
yeah,
Not like,
makes a lot of sense.
let's sneak it out. Sneak it out to who? Who are you sneaking it out to? The
Well,
people who don't pay attention to games anyway?
Like if I wouldn't know about this if I didn't know about you. And I'm
sneak it
still gonna
out.
be like, I'm still gonna be playing Tears of the Kingdom when this comes out.
Yeah,
so.
let's say you
But-
weren't here and you didn't know me. If this game happened to pass in front of your eyes, you would think of it for all of 2 seconds and then never pay
Well,
attention to it again.
The Patreon you put out with what I'm assuming are official photographs from Nintendo, that would get my ire quickly, because that was so cheesy. And I was like, well, who do they think they're marketing to? Like, people want to play this? Like, it
They're
looks like
marketing it
a
to
Dorkus.
the same people.
Malorkus. That's Latin.
I'm gonna guess you don't remember any of the promotions for 1-2 Switch, which
I
were
never played that
almost
one.
exactly the same. The promotions for 1-2 Switch feature real people, and if I remember correctly, if you're lucky, in the very background of those pictures is like a Switch in tabletop mode with a tiny screen on it. Like, you see, they had people dressed up in like a farmer's outfit and all kinds of stuff to promote I'm going to look up those pictures. It's the same kind of thing.
Well,
I think if you're
but
going to
what's-
remove one thing, it would have been like a Switch being in the picture.
But you're saying how you didn't even know about it if you didn't know him, right? Well, guess what?
uh-oh.
This is a big part of the news that someone didn't talk about.
Go ahead.
It's already sold out, I'm assuming. It says gobbled up
It's gobbled up on the website.
That's
The
one,
physical
off
two,
copy.
the
Switch,
My
the
Nintendo
original.
store.
That's nowhere near as cheesy as that picture you posted on the Patreon, man.
Well, there's the people,
Nowhere near as cheesy.
people dressed
Pull up-
like
I'll pull up that Patreon.
farmers milking cows, right?
Nope, not even.
No, I know the picture. It's 2 people. I'm showing you pictures of 2 people.
Look, it's not the people. It's the, I don't know. This one guy looks like he's.
Here we go. Now we're getting to it. No, go ahead. This is what I really want to hear, because I knew it was something about the way some guy specifically looks.
You know, where did you? Here we go.
If you go to Everybody
Look
1-2
at
Switch,
this. I mean, come on, that's corny as hell. You're never gonna play
Are they
that.
swing dancing?
Like, he looks like he's on one of those like they're on like one of those train track things, and they're that's why you liked it.
here.
No, that's again not as corny as this. I never want to look like these two people.
he
All
has
right,
I never
to
will.
play
Let's get
Devil's
him over it.
Advocate with Deux.
Look, he's wearing a bow tie. What is he? Work for Fox
grown
News?
men in cowboy costumes.
This
That's the
guy's wearing a
original?
bow tie. Is that
Yeah.
Tucker Carlson playing 1-2 Switch?
Oh,
Everybody.
look at that. He's got
We're putting these
sleeveless
2 pictures together, and you're
shorts.
telling me that's the worst one.
That's what I'm telling you.
he's a short
That's insane.
I
he's
don't-
a
I don't-
tank
I don't
top and
agree.
shorts cowboy. Those never existed.
You're telling me
even.
what if you even knew these pictures came out back then, you'd be like, this is fine.
I wouldn't say that either.
I'm
I'm just saying.
all
I'm
right,
just
all
saying
right.
it's gotten worse.
It's worse. Look at this man drizzling semen into.
All right, I can definitely see. I didn't see the semen before. The negative space. Now I see the semen.
That was the most popular game in 1-2 Switch. Yank the crank.
Well, I guess I gotta play this game.
You didn't play 1-2 Switch? I could have swore you did.
No, I
Rolling marbles in the thing and milking the cow. And
never
The
ever.
only time I played
I
it was
in
at the event that we
California
went
when
to.
the Switch came out, so I never played it over here, and I only.
I never played it
1-2
outside
Switch
of
has got some really fun
a
games in it.
Nintendo event.
How about this one?
All right, that's bad too. That's really bad.
Yeah, they're doing the same exact campaign with the second game. It's just they haven't shown any screenshots of the game yet.
I don't know. I'm always wrong when I do this, so I shouldn't. But like, I'd be interested to know what chat thinks, because I think
Here?
I'm
This one?
right, but I'm always
No.
wrong.
What I'm saying is, you're looking at them doing the exact same thing. You just happen to think that guy looks worse than any of them.
Because he's got a bow tie and suspenders.
Yeah, you don't like the man's outfit, is what it is. That's
I mean,
it.
he
Get him out of here.
hair and makeup could have touched
This
up his hair a
guy
little
isn't
bit.
worse.
Look, they
I
got
think
him
it's
at
the
a
same guy.
horrible photo. They took him. They took the photo. Like, why would you use that
Nobody
photo?
told him they were taking a picture at that.
Why did they take that
because-
still right then?
Because that's eating a
Because it's an
sandwich.
eating- it's
he
an
looks
eating
like he's
game.
being scared. Someone's
an
jumping
eat-
out from
well,
behind.
It's
I
a
love-
game about
I love
eating
the
a
idea.
sandwich.
I love the idea behind that
That's
one.
not a lie, by the way. That's the truth. You
he's-
eat a
he's
sandwich.
Well,
mimicking
thank
the
God we're
game.
getting a sequel.
So he's mimicking the game of eating a sandwich, and they're like, "It's not selling it. Like, eat it harder." And he's like, and they're like, "No, eat it. Close your mouth."
These two.
He's got veins sticking out of his neck. What is that?
My whole point is to be outraged about this picture and not be outraged about the exact same kind of
Alright.
campaign with the first game.
So here's the thing. I didn't know the game existed 6 years ago. I never played it when it came
It
out. I
launched
was
with the
never.
Switch.
I don't. And I didn't.
Oh, here you
and I
go.
got a
Yeah,
Switch late
I
with
like
Breath of the Wild.
Sure,
I don't know
yeah.
what
I mean,
else.
That's a better picture than the.
It's a
than
little
the-
weird. There's a weird. Is that like drool?
No, that's
connecting?
That's the image of
That's
like
the cow milking minigame.
that's the
Oh, that one. You like that one?
Again, I
That's-
still think mine is worse. As from a, I never want like I would look at that farmer and I'd be like, that's weird, but I'm interested in whatever that game is. I wouldn't look at Bowtie Man and be like, oh, awesome. Can I, be a correspondent? Is this correspondent?
All right, so let's
I
take
don't know
it.
what the
It's
word
not
is.
about anything related to the game. You just literally do not like the man's bow tie.
Look, I'm not interested in this game. I'll play it with you if you'd like. I'm not interested in it, and the
I'm part of
marketing
everybody.
campaign for me is not. It's not impressive.
But you will recognize, having now seen this introduced to you, the marketing campaign for this game
Is
is
consistent.
It's the same as
it's
the first
consistent.
game. That's fine.
Yes.
man. That's
yes.
fine. The first 1-2 Switch does have some really good mini games in it. There's one that
I'm
is
sure it does. It's Nintendo. It's
there's
got to be good.
one where you put the Joy-Con down, not face down. You put it on its side. What was it, like safe cracking or something? And you have to turn. It's like, or something about turning the Joy-Con a certain amount of degrees, and it's like 47 degrees, and you have it from a neutral point, and you turn it, just feeling the clicks, and you're like, I think it'd be about here, and then it shows the numbers on the screen and locks everybody in. The cowboy one was a lot of fun too. It's quick draw, where you just have to sit there and you're listening for the guy to. I think you listen for the guy to say draw, and then you both pull and shoot at each other, and then you watch on screen and it shows who shot first and the angle of which you came up and the speed. It was a really fun game. There's the one with the marbles, which was
That's the one I'm
awesome.
thinking about.
You have the Joy-Con, and you're supposed to guess how many marbles are inside the Joy-Con, and you do it by moving the Joy-Con around and
Oh,
feeling the
cool.
marbles like bounce into each other and everything. It was awesome. It was
Spoiler
really
alert: the answer is always 0. There's no marbles inside your
Oh
controller.
no.
also, the cow milking one was a lot of fun, but
You know what I like? It's not the Joy-Con, but my Pro controller. When I have it set on the table and I press like the home button to turn on the Switch, and it vibrates, there's like a note to it.
yeah, there's like a boop. I know
Yeah.
what you mean. I know that noise. I know
It doesn't
it well.
happen when it's in my hand, but when it's on a hard
When you're
surface,
on-
you hear it.
Yeah, that's why you got to do it with Nintendo games, to put them on the table, because then you can hear. Sometimes there is a little ditty, a little jingle, a little specific noise. I love that kind of stuff. So yeah, 1-2. Everybody 1-2 Switch. It's a party game. It's meant for friends and family to get together who don't usually play
The original
games.
was
and-
$30 though too, wasn't it? It was cheaper.
I don't remember, to tell you the truth.
It was a discount.
But
You know what? You know what was a good game?
Stilbert
for-
says 100% marbles in there.
it was a good game at the release, and I never really played it.
I saw Duke cooking up something over here, and I was like, he
I
can't
just
wait.
want it to be out there. No one has to say anything, and if you disagree with me, I'd rather you not say anything. But I just
No
want the
one's
chat to see
disagreeing
it.
that the guy looks dorky. We all agree
I
there.
mean, Dorkus Malorkus.
Thank you.
Yeah. Mhm.
Like, you're not getting an
His
argument that
government name.
he looks like a dude.
You know what,
yeah,
and-
I 100% agree.
I apologize if Dorkus Malorkus is in the chat.
That's right.
The
Solomon
opinions
Etzelink.
are of
It's not right. You watch your mouth too.
these opinions are of Joe
I mean, he's.
It's like the Hitler stash. It was ruined by Hitler. Charlie Chaplin. If it was just Charlie Chaplin, people would still be wearing it today.
So the bow tie was ruined
yes.
by Tucker Carlson.
By any right-wing pundit.
Okay.
J.O.
Okay. So this poor. But here's an important message. Can't somebody take that and try and make it good? Like poor Pepe the Frog.
Someone
Poor
can, but they failed.
Pepe, somebody has to fail so somebody can succeed at some point.
I just
All
feel
right,
bad.
I'll give you
Somebody
that.
out there is going to be
How
like, this
many
guy's
somebodies?
brave enough to be a bow tie man. Now I'm going to try it.
I just feel really bad because no one was considerate enough to let this gentleman know he had some flyaways before they took the pictures.
He's action heavy, man. That's as good as it gets. You
They're
can-
flying away with movement.
yeah.
He looks like a guy that like
That's so great. That's so great. Lanquin, that's amazing.
hey, he's at a wedding. He's at a wedding,
Oh,
Langquin.
now bow ties are allowed at weddings. It's purple too. It's purple.
He was in the wedding.
He
So
didn't get a
what's
say in
Did
that.
we not
He didn't
see
get a say in that. You
Yes.
don't get a say in what you wear in
Yes.
weddings.
Yeah, what did you wear to his wedding, huh? Oh, you had to wear a suit. I bet you loved it.
I wore a captain's
And
hat.
let's just all remember the pants Nicky Hill wore to JCS's wedding.
I mean, I'm sorry, but
I
with
can't
Lanquin's
say-
comment, I
I
think
can't
that's
say
game set
I
match.
wore
That's
those.
perfect.
They wore
no,
you.
it's not.
An avatar with a bow tie in it.
No,
Because
I
he's
painted
at a
them on.
wedding. I don't even understand.
I think I have a picture. of
You
your
never
butt
said
specifically
anything
from
about
that
bow
wedding.
ties are good if you're at a
Listen,
wedding.
I tried to
Well,
trim
they
the
are.
waistline.
Okay.
and the thighs.
All right.
Did it?
Lanquin, no good. He
Jake
says bow ties
Brew
are good at
little boy
weddings.
pants.
Everybody can wear a
They
bow
fit
tie
at
at a
one
wedding.
point.
Langquin knows that it was disingenuous.
I want him to.
Everybody at a wedding can wear a bow tie.
If you want to, but like if you're in the wedding
Then
and
you
it's
have to
part
wear
of the
whatever they
dress
tell you to
code,
wear.
then you're gonna wear it.
I don't know that a purple tie is part. I think he just picked it because he liked it. Who's telling Beast what to wear?
The
I
bride.
I would.
Oh,
Guess
by the way, for
bride,
the
but-
audio listeners only, do in Discord is.
are you
it's
just seeing it
perfect.
now?
It's perfect.
No, I'm just
It's
laughing about
perfect.
it now.
It's funny.
Do in the Discord, his avatar is a picture of Beast from the X-Men, and Beast is wearing a bow tie. So Lanquin put that picture in the Discord and said, "Look at the bow tie dork."
I mean, it's
And-
funny, but like
It's perfect.
it's not perfect because when you look at him, he's definitely not a dork. You look at the other guy, the guy's a Dorkus Malorkus.
It's also-
I
it's
love
also-
Beast.
did you
Beast
comment-
is without a doubt X-Men's
Not a
biggest
simple
dork.
Like,
He's
it's
a
the same
Dorkus
color.
Far
Malorkus.
and away, far and
bow
away.
tie is the
X-Men's
same
biggest.
color
okay,
palette
no.
as this guy too.
I'll take that back. There's two dorks in the old school X-Men: Cyclops and Beast. Beast is the cool dork. Cyclops is the dork.
All right,
But
I'll
one
give
of
you
them's
that.
wearing a bow tie, so
I'll
it's
give you
double
that.
dork. He's double downing on the dork.
But his uniform isn't bow tie. Like if that was his uniform that he always wore,
Yeah,
then
but if you're like, if I'm in the X-Men,
well,
and they're like,
wait, you mean
I'm
like
gonna
you
have
like
to take
James
this
Bond or
present
something?
back. You don't
No,
appreciate
no,
it.
no.
if I never complained about bow ties. If I am in the X-Men, or if I'm going to an X-Men wedding, and somebody's like, "Hey, I heard somebody's wearing a bow tie to this," I'd be like, "It's gonna be Beast. He's the dork. Of course, he's gonna wear that." Like nobody. I'd be like,
well,
Cyclops isn't gonna wear it. He is a dork, but it's not gonna be Cyclops.
Dude,
It's
And
this-
gonna
which
be in, like, a
turtle's
suit.
gonna wear a bow tie, huh? Dork.
this might
Donatello.
This probably would be Donatello if I.
I
had
like
to
how we
guess.
had to think about it.
This might-
Obviously,
no,
Dom.
I'm sorry. I think about answers before I give them. Yes, I went Leonardo. No, Raphael definitely not. He'd probably wear, if he wanted to, a bolo.
Yeah,
and be like, this is badass. Yeah,
A real rebel.
yeah, exactly. He'd wear a bolo because that's Raphael. Thank you. and then
might hate
Michelangelo.
bolos more than
Michelangelo,
bow
I could see
ties.
potentially wearing a bow tie for fun, like a polka dot bow tie, but probably not. I could see
a pizza
it, though.
bow tie.
Yeah, I could see it. I could see it.
But wait,
Donatello, yes, because he is a dork.
I would like to offer to the group, if I may, that it is not in fact the bow tie that makes him a Dorkus Malorkus. It's the suspenders.
It's the suspender
would
and like
take-
the way he's what is he
If you
doing?
take
He's
off the
filling up air in a
suspenders-
bike tire.
I mean, there's probably like a pump a balloon mini game. Yeah, if I
Well,
had
that's
to
the one
guess.
thing that's missing from those photos are the
Also, does he have like a moose knuckle in that
outline
picture?
of
Yeah.
what they're accomplishing.
Yeah, that is.
Definitely.
He has a moose knuckle. In the,
This poor man has never suffered so much.
I mean, blow that up, right?
Blow that dick up.
Look at that.
He's got the man.
Woo!
The pants are tight. The
Nice.
pants are very tight.
I mean, when you really,
I'm looking at it.
he's
Oh, yeah.
splitting the
My
difference
man-
there.
My man wears a bow tie because he's confident. Why? Because he's got such a huge dick. We can see.
Paperdoodle. Paperdoodle.
I only brought this up because I'm jealous of the man's enormous penis.
You know, it took 20 minutes to get to the real reason, but I'm glad
I
we
can
got
admit when I'm wrong.
there. This whole thing is definitely going to be a highlight for the podcast this week. I'm making
is
this
Ozzy
video. This is so
Beaverhausen.
good.
Well,
This is so
not
good.
yeah.
You guys are
That's
so good in the Discord. You're amazing. I feel like whatever happens in the show now, I feel like we should just stop. This was great. This conversation was so good. This
It's
is
a
why I
shame-
love the podcast.
It's a
This
shame
was
we didn't save
amazing.
this news story for the end.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. Now we got to go back to regular
Goodbye,
news.
everybody.
Holy moly, was that good. Man, that is funny. What a great conversation. Thank you, especially Deux. Thank you, because we wouldn't have had it without you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, so there you go. $30, June 30th. Will we see more about it before then? Will we see a trailer? I don't know. To be fair, one side of me is like, yeah, I'd like to see a trailer just because I want to see a trailer. On the other side, I'm like, we know what it's going to be. Like, show me a few more screenshots and I'm cool, but we know what we're getting from Everybody Wants to Switch. It's not going to be like a big shocker or anything. And as I said on Patreon, I'm a sucker for any kind of party game. Any game you can get, especially where it woos in people who don't know how to play games traditionally. You can just give them a controller and you're like, it's a gun, it's a bike pump, it's a electric shaver, which was in 1-2 Switch. That was fun, where you pointed the thing at your face and you had to shave your invisible beard. Yes, MomBrain.
Piper said that she was seeking audience with the Squeezer Man.
Squeezer Man's busy, Piper. I'm so sorry,
It's
but it is
Catterday,
Catterday. It is Catterday.
though.
I will give you Squeezer later. You got my word. Cat Gogurt.
She couldn't
Whenever
come
they are.
in to see Squeezer Man because
The Pester Man
the
is
Pester
here.
Man is by the door.
The Pester Man and the Squeezer Man.
Is that me?
It's you.
And then
Not
Raw
here,
Mom and
Mom.
Raw Dad are the grand squeezers.
You're the Pester Man because of what happened a couple
Yeah.
weeks ago.
I leaned on the side of
that's
a
what
chair.
I was-
that
He isn't
I
attached.
didn't know it was not
The Pester
attached.
Man.
I scared the cat. So
Well,
You pestered her,
you pester her.
actually.
Yes, it's a pester, not a scare.
She's easily pestered.
Moving on.
Pesterman.
We have the whole situation with Nintendo and emulators. As you know, Nintendo is very against emulators. They don't want them out there. They don't like them. They don't like people using them. And they know that they believe the vast majority of people are using emulators to play games illegally. I do not have empirical data to back that up, but I think we'd be a little disingenuous if we didn't say the majority of people using emulators are most likely playing games that they don't actually own in any way, shape, or form. But I know there are people who use emulators legitimately to play archived copies of games they do own. So I recognize that audience is out there. I just think it is the considerably smaller audience, but I don't have empirical data to back that up. So there's an emulator called Dolphin. It'll let you play Wii and GameCube games. It's been around for a while, been worked on for a while by obviously enthusiasts, not an actual company. And then we found out that the Dolphin emulator was going to release on Steam. Steam is the digital marketplace owned by Valve, one of the biggest out there, probably the biggest out there as far as games go. So everyone's like, oh, it's going to release through Steam. And then all of a sudden it wasn't going to release through Steam because the listing was removed. And everyone's like, oh, Nintendo's ninjas swooped in. So Nintendo shared a comment on this situation. They said, quote, Nintendo is committed to protecting the hard work and creativity of video game engineers and developers. The emulator illegally circumvents Nintendo's protection measures and runs illegal copies of games. Using illegal emulators or illegal copies of games harms development and ultimately stifles innovation. Nintendo respects the intellectual property rights of other companies and in turn expects others to do the same. So they were saying, hey, we respect Valve's crap and Valve should respect us. So, of course, not surprisingly, the internet lost its mind over this because they are very pro emulator. It seemed, I don't know if it's a vocal minority, a vocal majority, the actual majority. I don't know, but 9 times out of 10, you will see people talking about emulation and it's good and it's not illegal.
Good, right?
Bing Ching says, Bing Chilling. You guys should pull Nintendo's hog out from your throat. Emulation isn't illegal. Emulation isn't illegal. Emulation isn't illegal. Nintendo is an oligarchy. Nintendo is an oligarchy. Nintendo is an oligarchy. Just reading it as it was written. So yes, Nintendo's comment on illegal emulator. Emulation isn't illegal. I want to make that clear. Emulation is not illegal. But Nintendo's approach is most likely that the emulator that we're talking about here, I don't know all the specifics. I'm not a tech guy, but this was backed up by people who create and work on emulators. It uses some sort of key, and the key is gotten from Nintendo and is not allowed by Nintendo. So legally, if this went to court, Nintendo would have ground to stand on. Now, could there be emulators that don't use whatever this key is? Again, I know this sounds like somebody's grandpa talking about this who doesn't know all the details. I don't know the tech specs, but there is a key that is used that is not provided by Nintendo to people freely to make emulators.
Does the emulator use the Wi-Fi?
Yes. Emulators do connect to the internet. Yes.
Just answer the question. Does it use the Wi-Fi?
Kind of
Will
creepy.
it harm
Isn't
my
it?
children? So that was the legal, I guess I'll say loophole, or the legal means by which Nintendo could take this to court and make at least a very good argument that this is not allowed. So when Nintendo says illegal emulators, that's their approach. They're not saying emulators are illegal. They are saying this Dolphin emulator uses a key that was ill-gotten. So, of course, like I said, the internet went.
Why don't you get a key then?
And again, feel free to collect me in the comments. And I know I'm going to get raked over the coals for it. I am not pro emulation. I am not against emulation. As I've said many times in the past, I have used emulators. I downloaded games that I once owned, and I downloaded games that I never owned, and I just played them. And then one day it hit me, I shouldn't be doing this. This is wrong. I don't own the games. That's how I personally feel. It's wrong, and I shouldn't do it. I made that decision. Now, I think we can all, at the very least, agree that going into a store and stealing anything off the shelf or taking anything off the shelf without paying for it and leaving the store is stealing. So if you did that with a video game in a store, I think we would all agree that is stealing, and that's where I'll leave it. So I'm sure some people won't agree with that, but it is what it is. And I recognize some of these games aren't on sale anymore. I recognize Nintendo hasn't sold some of these games for decades. I recognize you can't buy a brand new GameCube anymore. I recognize all that.
So what do you say to that? Tough luck?
Well, my thing is, if Nintendo's not selling a game anymore, that doesn't legally make it right for you to steal it. Like, just because any company doesn't sell something anymore, doesn't sell a product, that doesn't mean legally you can steal it. That's what I'm saying. That's all that I'm saying. You can't legally steal something because some company doesn't provide it anymore.
What if you just download it, play it, and then delete it when you're done? That's like borrowing.
Well, you argue that in the court. Yeah, go right ahead.
Or if they're stealing it, but like they're not really stealing it because the copy is still with whoever they're stealing it from, right? So like that person still has a copy of it because it's digitally being stolen, right?
So you're saying since digital copies are infinite?
Yeah.
So you're not saying that?
No, that's what I'm saying. I'm trying to see
the original.
I'm trying to be a devil's advocate because I don't know anything about like the other side. Because I agree with you.
Here, I got a question. Tell me how you get from the verified legal copy bought by a person to the one downloading it from the internet that doesn't own the game. Tell me how you get the legal. How do you make so the person on the beginning side is legal? How do you get to the other person and have that be legal?
Well, I'm sure it's not legal.
Okay. All right. There we
go.
Yeah. Again, I understand the frustration of Nintendo or any company not offering something forever, because you'll be like, they haven't sold this game in 20 years. They haven't sold this album in 50 years. They haven't sold this movie in 100 years or 60 years, whatever. I get it. And you're like, I want it. I also get that. But I'm strictly speaking from a legal perspective. That does not give you the right to just get that for free. That's not how it works. You can't legally do that. Should you be able to? I can see an argument for that to be made.
What
That's
about like
all I'm
old Game Boy games or something, or old NES games that are outside of like, aren't they like free or fair? Not fair trade.
It's not how things work.
But I mean, if there's no other way to play it and you wanted to play it again,
That's why people do it. But that doesn't make it illegal.
so what would be the legal course of action?
You would buy a secondhand copy.
And
Tough
then,
luck, basically.
and then it's broken. Or
Listen,
something
I'm
that
not
doesn't
saying
work.
that the solution is there for this problem. I'm just saying what you're doing isn't legal because of it. There's should there. Well, that's the thing. How do you make the solution of? How do you make
I
a
mean,
solution
I don't
for?
understand, but then even if you're buying a secondhand copy, it's on the company's not getting the money anyway. So like,
I understand
you're giving
that.
some other person.
I understand that, but at the very least, the product you are getting was actually produced by all parties involved, and they made their money on it. So they are not selling it anymore. I get that, but you have an actual real product that was made by the real companies. Whereas online, you're getting the software that was made by the companies, but you're not getting it through any sort of legal manner. You're like, Chippendale on or Milon's Secret Castle on the NES wasn't made available for all digital platforms everywhere. It was like on the Wii Virtual Console, and you needed a Wii to play it. It was never released online freely, publicly to play anywhere. Developers do that. They're like, here's a ROM. You can't buy our game anymore. Okay, then you're free. Then go do whatever you want. That's 100% legal. It was put out by the developer. You're good to go. But other developers don't do that because they don't want to do that with their property. They want to make money off it some other way, or they just don't do it.
I mean, but like, I feel like there should be some sort of time frame or something, like 15 years. If they don't offer it for sale,
That's great.
for 10 or 15 years, then it should
That's
be,
great.
you know.
Then we need that law.
No,
This
that's
is
what
what
I'm saying. I'm not saying
Yeah.
like.
I agree.
I just think like, I think that's what should be addressed or something, because like,
I agree.
if you're not actively or like aspiring, like interested in making money on that intellectual property for a certain period of time, then like, then just make it available or something. But they're not going to just make it available. They're going to make
Yes.
it available for you to buy it.
I agree. Also, we have to recognize this sounds like rah-rah big corporate. We have to recognize that they own it, so it's theirs to do what they want with. Now, I'm not saying I like that. I'm just saying that's legally the case. They own it. So, yes, I agree. There should be some discussion of a law that if a company doesn't release a movie, a TV show, a soundtrack, a game, or it's been out of print for so many decades or whatever it may be, then there should be some way for an interested customer to obtain it legally. I agree with that.
Make a horror
So then
movie
what
out
will
of it.
happen is if that precedent happens, then those companies will obviously turn that into you need to pay to get it, and it will be available forever, but you have to pay. And then people will be like, that's not what I want anyway. And they're going to steal it anyway, because what they really want is they want it for free. So there are people legitimately who will say, I'll pay the money for this. I'll take it legitimately. I'll do it legally, but I have no avenue to do that through. Please make that avenue available for me. There are people who will do that. I would do that. I have done that, but we need a law for that kind of stuff, and that's not going to happen.
How did you play Mother 3? Was that an emulator or was that something else?
That is an emulator. That's the only Nintendo game that I can think of where Nintendo knows that's happening and does nothing about it purposefully. They will never speak about it publicly because then we'll be in this situation.
It makes this situation
but
look
Nintendo
weird, yeah.
would have 1 bazillion% squashed that right away. No questions asked. But they're not touching that game with the 50-foot pole. So they're like,
do they just not want to bring any attention to it at all? Like, any attention on either side of it?
I
Like,
think that's pretty much it.
just because then people will be like, all the woke people will be like up in arms about the game not being appropriate or like
I just
content wise, or
I think yes that I especially it's always been a touchy subject for Nintendo content wise, even when it originally came out, because outside of Japan it would be viewed very differently. But in today's day and age, it would be viewed, it would be taken to both extremes.
is it
I would think.
considered an offensive game, or was it? I thought it was done as an ally, or not really. I guess before
In
this,
Japan, it would not be seen as offensive. Outside of Japan, it would be seen as offensive.
definitely
But it is
offensive.
not conveying a message that is meant to be offensive. It is supposed to be in support of, yes. But outside of Japan, it would be looked at negatively. And to some degree, you would look at it now and be like, oh, yeah, I don't know about some of this stuff, even knowing where it's coming from. But that's judging through the lens of today, things that came out decades ago. That's a whole different discussion. But the game's original intention was of support and allyship. So that's all good. But there's a whole bunch of tropes and customs and things that happen in Japan that are normal for Japan, and outside of Japan, people would be horrified. And that goes for every country and every region. That's everywhere. So that's just, and to take that game and take that stuff out would take out the heart of the game too. So that's a situation where localization would probably ruin the game. So I don't think they'll ever do it. But stranger things have happened. Star Fox 2 got released officially. So
Is the game fun?
oh, bringing
Yeah,
up
but-
Reggie with Mother, that's also
but
funny
Star
too.
Fox wasn't cruising around with like transgender people or something, right? Or
No, but that wasn't. But Star Fox 2 released or was supposed to release on the Super Nintendo, got canceled at the last minute. The game was complete. I would have never guessed that 25 years later, Nintendo would actually put it out on a piece of hardware.
25
That's
years
crazy.
later, a Twin Peaks reference.
However many years it was, I don't know. But yes, the only, I guess, equally strange things have happened, I should say, rather than stranger things. But there have been things that Nintendo has done that have surprised me. Mother 3 would certainly be the most surprising.
Mother.
But anyway, all this emulator stuff. There you go. That's my stance on, like I said, eat me alive in the comments. I hope I gave it some nuanced discussion. I am not pooping on people who do it illegally. I have done it in the past. I do not do it anymore. I'm not saying I'm better than you. I'm saying personally, I have
What's wrong with
decided
you?
it is not something I feel good doing. I'm telling you, do what you want. If you want to ignore the legality, go ahead. If you're wishy-washy on it, that's fine. I'm not saying anything about what you do. I'm saying what I do. I'm just saying legally, it is illegal to get a game you don't own. Like you're just pulling. What I did was illegal. Like what many of us did was illegal. And then, you're young and or some of you are young and stupid. And then you're like, I shouldn't have done that stuff. Just like we do with lots of other things when we're kids. We move on, we grow up, and we think about things differently. Or you don't. So anyway, that hubbub happened. Then later in the week, we found out another interesting tidbit here. It wasn't Nintendo who contacted Steam about getting this emulator removed. It was Steam who contacted Nintendo to let them know that it was going to be on the platform because they figured Nintendo wouldn't want it there. So Valve's spokesperson, Casey Aitchison, who talked to Kotaku, said, quote, given Nintendo's history of taking action against some emulators, we brought this to their attention proactively after the Dolphin team announced it was coming soon to Steam. End quote. They released a whole big statement along with that as well. Now, here's the thing, Nintendo, we saw all the legal documents. Nintendo thanked Valve for telling them it was happening, all that stuff. But we also found out Valve also probably did it because Valve could have been held responsible for this. And sometimes you see things like YouTube or any website where it's like user-created content is posted there, and it breaks some guidelines, copyright or whatever it may be. And the platform holder can't legally be held responsible for that. They take the actions to remove it. But, if somebody uploads the Super Mario Brothers movie to YouTube, YouTube might hear about it, but YouTube doesn't get in trouble with it or in trouble for it because they don't know this guy is going to do that. The guy that did it gets in trouble. YouTube just has to remove it now that they know it's there. With the Steam situation, it's different because of the whole legal breakdown is there. But if it was on the store, Valve could have been held responsible for it. So Nintendo had 100% legal right to sue Valve. Now, here's two things. Nintendo knew that, and Valve knew that. And Valve was like, Nintendo could sue us for this. So they stepped in and were like, "Hey, Nintendo, this is going to happen. You probably don't want it, right?" Nintendo's like, "Yeah, we don't want it." So
They were just covering their own butt, but you can't blame them. And I don't think
because
there's anything-
Valve, basically, if Valve didn't do it, it would have been an open and shut case for Nintendo, and Nintendo would Nintendo have sued them? I think they would have tried to settle it a different way. But if they went to court, Valve would have no legal leg to stand on, and Valve would have lost. Like, it's cut and dry. So.
But why is this even important? Are we just trying to talk crap on Valve and say like they wouldn't have done it if they didn't have to? Like, because
It's important.
it's nice that they did that.
No, it's not a
but, like-
gotcha. It's important because it's the whole story.
Okay, yeah.
We tell the whole story with every news story,
It
or
did
at least
feel
we
like
try
the whole
to.
story.
Oh
Still
boy.
does.
Oh boy.
I'm just teasing you, man.
And with that, let's talk about the news from this past week that we
Let's
just spent
talk
while we were
about.
sitting here listening to that story. from the
Entropy
week
says
before.
everyone fears Nintendo's ninjas. There you go. And here's the thing. Here's talking about dunking on the internet. The original story,
Oh, speaking of
was a
dunking, did you know
shovel
yesterday
storm
was
on the
National
internet.
Donut Day?
as far as comments, as you and I discussed, there was
Dunking
lots
you
of that.
donuts?
Dunkin' Donuts.
The follow-up that gives you the full picture, nobody talks about that. They've already made up their mind after the first decision. They know all the facts. They don't want to hear anything else. So there you go. So
I mean,
that's
what
why
else-
we tell the full story, because there are people out there who want to hear the full story.
What are the new facts, though? I mean, we got what we needed.
What'd
I
you
know-
get? You tell me then.
Nintendo emulation stuff. I think they're going to rebrand it as the GameCube emulator now.
But it also
Just
does
makes
Wii games.
sense. Whoops.
And what was the animal it's called?
Dolphin.
Hey,
but
there we
Dolphin
go.
was
We
the
got one piece of
GameCube
information.
code name, wasn't it?
I don't know. Look it up.
It was Eagle.
It definitely was. I don't know why he's
There
being
wa-
like this.
Oh, we were talking about the full story. It was a joke about the full story. You got to look
okay.
it up.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Boy, oh boy.
I
Yes,
still
it
don't
was
get
called
I
Dolphin.
don't get it.
You said, why bother telling the second half of the story? I said because
I
it's
under-
important to give the full
There's
story.
another half.
He wanted
Oh
the
my
full
gosh, how
side
long
of
are
the
we gonna
story
be here?
about what their prototype was called. And I said, look it up because it's the full story.
That's funny.
Anyway, moving on to non-controversial topics. Although I'm sure we could find controversy in all of them.
I could. Oh, I love that.
Don't look at it. Look at
Elden
me.
R.
Look at me.
I'm not looking at anything.
It's
I
your
looked
favorite.
it up already.
Oh, is it? It doesn't have to be a Switch game. I thought you said Switch release.
I was kidding.
It was the Switch release, yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. We did it. It's Pokemon.
There you go. Pokemon Scarlet and Violet sold over 200,000 at launch. To be fair, 2 games. Tears of the Kingdom sold over 170,000 at launch. Biggest Zelda game launch in Spain ever. 12,000 units of that were the limited edition. So you got 12,000 diehard fans out there. But the number 1 debut for a Zelda game in Spain ever. So another record or another feather in the cap of Nintendo for Zelda. And there's other Zelda accolades and sales figures that have come out throughout the week. I don't remember us sharing any of them as top stories, but there you go. Nintendo Live 2023, which we mentioned very quickly. It's the big event for Nintendo fans. There's going to be 3 tournaments: a Splatoon 3 tournament, a Smash Brothers tournament, and a Mario Kart tournament. Now you're like, hey, Nintendo Live 2023, I'm going to go to that. Well, you can if you're lucky, because you can't really buy a ticket. You have to enter a lottery. And if you get selected in the lottery, then you can go. And there will be a whole bunch of things for you to check out. Contests
It's open
and
to the
promotions.
public only if they. Is it industry people? No, it's open to
Nope.
people, but you have to be selected through a lottery.
Yeah.
So everyone who attends has already been a winner.
That is my understanding, unless there's something with a PAX West pass that you can use to get in. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that. But yes, if you got the website,
So I have an
register at the website.
Adam West pass. Does that count?
He's passed, yes. Photo opportunities, play games right there, tournaments. Like I said, there's a pop-up shop that could have some exclusive merch as well. So don't forget to leave room in your suitcase. At the event, you'll be able to stop at a Nintendo pop-up store and browse to purchase a wide variety of different merchandise. So good luck if you're trying to get in. Joe Shabadoo says, sounds worth it for the live music and spectating some of the top-level Smash, Kart, and Splatoon. For the young ones, it certainly seems like an approximation of a theme park experience with immersive spaces. I got to think that Nintendo of America got together in the winter and realized that the money and effort they had potentially earmarked for E3 could be repurposed and better used to hold a dedicated event. That's excellent insight. Is it fact? We don't know, but it's certainly great speculation. Nintendo's like, we're not doing E3. What can we put that money towards? And they're like, let's do our own thing. And maybe that's what they did. Great idea. Could be true. This is great. This is great.
Yeah, I read this one this week.
How bad have you ever wanted a game or a movie or whatever it is? We've all wanted to see or purchase or play or listen to things very badly, but probably not as bad as these two guys.
Uh-oh.
Two guys wanted to play Zelda Tears of the Kingdom as soon as they could. They were determined to play this game before it released to the public. They wanted hands-on before anybody else. So what did they do? They got jobs at an Amazon subcontractor. So they started working for an Amazon
This is a
subcontractor
commitment.
weeks before Tears of the Kingdom came out. Went in every day or whatever they were supposed to be in there, driving around, loading packages, all that stuff. Then the fateful day came when Tears of the Kingdom showed up. And on that day, both these men decided to steal copies of the games, go home, and never return to their job. They literally got jobs just to steal Zelda and then quit. And they're like,
In
and
the
no
meantime,
consequences will come of it.
What they probably made enough money to buy several copies of the game or a special collector's edition.
That's
or
not
whatever.
what it was
It was
about.
about playing it early.
It's not playing it early.
Yeah, they didn't care about. I mean,
When
they
those
ended up
packages
stealing it,
showed
but
up to the warehouse,
Just to the
potentially
warehouse.
It's
weeks
not like you
before
can
they were
leave
shipped
$70
yeah.
in the warehouse and like
Right.
take the game.
But
That
Nicky Hill,
doesn't-
don't you worry, because one of these young men was an entrepreneur and he stole extra to sell as well. So
Okay, well,
yeah.
But doesn't the story end with their mother? Like, why did they give their real names and numbers? Because they call the house, right? And the guy's mother is
sign
like,
up for a job. It's got to be on the
guy's
up.
mother is like, he's home from work because he's playing a new video game, is what
Yeah.
they said. And that's exactly
the
what
employer
they-
called the number, got the guy's mom, and they were like, "Why didn't so and so show up at work?" And they're like, "I don't know. He's upstairs playing a game."
I love
and
that.
that's so mom ruined it. Mom's in dark. She ruined it for these two. So yeah,
Well, this
21-year-old
kid's
and
gonna go to
24-year-old.
juvie, and mom's gonna get to play Tears
No
of the
juvie.
Kingdom.
21 and 24, regular jail, baby. So
Ugh.
I wonder if they have
one guy
Switch in
stole-
prison.
Tears of the Kingdom and a Switch Pro
Oh.
Pro controller extra to
You
make
gotta
some money.
switch. I don't think it's what Nintendo had in mind.
yeah. So man, that I just can't believe
Everybody want to
two
Switch.
separate people were like, "This is a good idea. We get the job, we work there a few weeks, we steal the games, and then we just never go back to work." And
It's
that's
not
it.
the worst idea if you're not going to give your real name and number out. Like, I just don't. I mean, how else would you get the job? But like, it's just insane that they would
All right.
think that they wouldn't get caught for this.
It's one of those.
The best
things,
part now is that they're not going to be able to actually continue playing the game for several
Yeah.
years because they're going to be.
the legal process takes a long time.
They'll probably
have
just take
some
a
time.
plea deal or
Yeah.
whatever.
Well, they're what's going to happen? They'll probably just be fined, right? They're not going to get prison time for this. Would they?
You could, I mean, it's theft. You could go to jail. It'll probably be a fine, but you could get jail time.
I
Yeah.
don't know. I think it's going to be a glonky.
I would guess a fine and community service or like house arrest or something like that.
House arrest? No way, because
Then they'll just
Then
be
they'll just
playing,
be
at
playing the
home.
game.
yeah,
well,
you'd
that-
hope they take
it's
that
not
into
about.
consideration.
Yeah, it's not about.
Let
well,
the
it's
punishment
not.
fit the crime.
Maybe they'll send them to work at Nintendo. They got to make the next Zelda game.
Oh, we don't want that.
That's
They'll be
right.
all Yiga clan. Everybody be stealing everything.
Well, we know they won't unionize.
I was
over
wondering
there,
why
so.
the Yiga clan was the picture here.
Thank you. They are thieves in the games. Martin's stuff says both
I thought
men
they were just jerks.
now have to spend the rest of their lives with their names changed to thief, a la Link's Awakening. That's right. You're labeled a thief in that game if you steal. That's great. I mean, I thought the picture made sense. Maybe it doesn't. They're a thief. He's telling you,
Congratulations.
Zelda related.
You got jobs just to steal these games, and now you're going to have trouble getting any other job in the future.
There's other jobs you can do without blow jobs.
Whoa.
Good Lord.
Big jobs,
All right. Now we're talking.
Odd jobs.
odd jobs. You don't need to. Yeah, you don't need to give out information for odd jobs, hand jobs, Steve Jobs. Speaking of from one legal situation to another, and or one prison situation to another, and this one is potentially much worse. We're back to our friend I typed it wrong. I typed his name wrong in the title. Yuki. How embarrassing.
Poor Yuji.
Yuji Naka.
It's Yuki Naja. is what it's supposed to be.
He's in witness protection.
I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
They'll never get this.
Sorry, I'm trying to update it now on my phone, and it's not letting me. Oh, Nikki Hill, you seem to be up on the news. You want to give us this rundown?
No.
Oh, okay. Yuji Naka, he got in trouble for he was making money off of insider information. He found out that a mobile Final Fantasy game was going to come out. He bought stock in that company before the game was announced. Obviously, that's insider trading. He then the game was announced, the stock went up, and he made a whole bunch of money. Not legal. And then we heard he was found out. Then we heard he was going to court. Now we heard what's being
He's emulating old games.
We heard what potentially could happen to him. The prosecutors are recommending he gets 2.5 years in prison for this insider trading and fined $1.2 million. So this is think about this. The man known for bringing Sonic to life could go to jail for 2.5 years and spend $1 million in fines. Now, his team is like, no, he doesn't need jail, and that fine's too big. He doesn't. Now, we don't know. That's what the prosecutors have recommended that to the judge. His defenders are like, no, that's too much. The decision has to be made by July 1st. So we'll find out if Yuji Naka is going to serve prison time or not.
Man, I'd be crazy if they threw the book at him like that. I mean, that seems like a really harsh punishment, like jail time.
For insider trading, though. Like, he made millions of dollars off of inside information that the public has no way of knowing.
But who got hurt as a result?
Oh, we're white collar crime defenders.
No,
here.
It's tough
Take the
because there's
millions
so
and
many.
do something good with
There's
it.
so many like people high up in corporations that do this daily, and nothing happens.
Is
and
he
then-
not high up?
I don't know. Like I feel like what happened? He went to work at
Used
Square Enix or
inside
something?
information from Square Enix to make millions of dollars in insider
Yeah,
trading.
but I feel like that
I feel like
happens
everybody should be
all
doing
the
that.
time. Where it's like, hey, did you hear blah blah blah? And it's like, oh, maybe it's a good time to invest. I don't like. Did he just when it hit and like he just offload? I don't know. I don't know how.
What do you mean? What's your point?
That's
he
a
did
whole
insider
different
trading.
thing. Yeah, you're wondering how they caught him for insider trading versus like how they would catch a regular person that might have overheard.
No,
something?
like was he still holding the shares when they were like, "Hey, we think you did this"? Because maybe he just purchased it because he was like, "Oh, this has a lot of potential here."
No,
Like, this is-
we know the fact. I just told you the whole story. He had inside information of a Final Fantasy mobile game that was being made, not publicly announced. He knew the developers.
but
He knew
was
that the game was
working-
coming.
and he was working at Square Enix at
Yeah.
the time.
Yes.
So, like, what was it like? Did somebody walk up to him and be like, "Yo, you got to do this," or was
What
it
is
like,
the point you are
"I'm
trying
going to get a
make
cup
here?
of coffee," and like, "Hey, I'm working
Okay,
on
that's
this."
great. He hears a backroom comments at the office. Yes. That still doesn't mean that he's like, oh, I just happen to find out I can make the money. He was in the business. He's in Square Enix. You sign legal documents for days and days saying you don't do any of that stuff, regardless of if you hear it by accident or
Do
not.
any of what stuff?
Insider trading.
Buy stock for the company that you work for.
Use knowledge that you gain at the company to make money off of the company.
It happens all the time. Is the problem that's like
I
Doesn't
agree.
make it right. Doesn't
I
make it
agree.
right.
It happens all the time. I certainly agree with that, but it doesn't make it right. It's also correct. The man broke the law.
And
So-
this guy's a stickler for the
he
law.
likes the stock.
Well, here's the thing. That's what I'm saying. So this happens. We can all agree it was against the law. Now, what do you think should happen to him legally? That's what I'm asking you guys.
Yeah, I think they should take the money and build a park or something. Give it to children. Like, I mean, use this money for
So
something
then
good. He made millions.
What's the punishment for him?
Fined millions of dollars.
More than what he made?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
All right.
there's got to be
Okay.
some sort of punishment.
All right. Just checking. No jail time.
I don't think you need to be thrown in jail for that. It's insane.
I think that
Is
Well-
there an amount of money where you would want them to go to jail?
Yeah, who reported?
It's the money then? I don't.
Someone
Who
else
was
at
the
the
money
company. I don't
coming
remember
from?
who-
somebody else who probably did the same thing.
It was somebody else. No, someone else at the company. I forget how they found out that him, Naka, and another guy were doing this, and they brought it to Square Enix's attention. Yes.
so, stealing from big corporations, I find very excusable, as opposed to like stealing from.
Yeah, but you're
another-
picturing like a Robin Hood thing. This is Yuji
No,
Naka. He
right,
works at Square Enix.
But my point is that I believe that when someone does something wrong, the penance they pay should be some kind of restitution, right? Like I believe that that's how things should work. In a perfect world, restitution would be made and that'd be it, right? So for me,
For just money related things, you're saying?
yeah.
Okay.
So
So no amount of money gets gets jail time.
as long as, yeah.
So what if he's stealing it from like everyday people?
That's
Those-
different.
those people get their money back.
But
I
then the
think
person
that's
doesn't get
different.
jail either?
I think
There-
we can have,
Yeah, I could see there being some kind of,
because that's more personal. Like if you're taking from people, like because you know these businesses, they got insurance, they got whatever,
Yeah,
they're
they
gonna
should-
get the money back because of the trial or whatever it is.
they should get it back with like
So how
interest
do you
for
decide
like
that
the,
then?
the
Because
pain and
that's a
suffering.
slippery slope. Like slippery slope. Does the family have to be worth 100,000 or 60,000?
No, I think that
They're
the-
human people, not a big business.
Well, that's what I'm saying. What if it's
I
a
don't-
human
I-
people that has millions of dollars?
What kind
or
of pain and
hundreds of
suffering
thousands of
was
dollars,
caused?
Thing
or-
is,
Whatever pain
They
and
still-
suffering was caused by the loss of the money or
yeah,
the
but
lack
you
thereof.
can't factor that. You don't know. Like,
Well, yeah, I could if someone took all of our $5 right now, all of our money, and we went 3 months without that money, I could prove to you what bills we couldn't pay and what food we couldn't eat
I
compared to
know.
our normal like.
but what you're saying is somebody that had double the money shouldn't get as much restitution.
But he's not taking
no,
the money
I'm not
from.
saying that. I'm
from-
saying a corporation doesn't matter.
he's not. I don't think he's stealing from a
Yeah,
corporation.
but that's
and
what I'm.
he's-
You're saying like it can't. This can't be done on an individual
Yeah.
basis because then nothing would ever happen. You can't do that. Like it would. We're so backlogged legally now. Nothing
Yeah.
would ever happen. It'd be
Yeah.
paperwork for decades, and the people would die before
Well, then they
anything
should hire
happened.
Piper because she's great at paperwork.
That's what I'm saying. This is why all this stuff exists, because it's a huge problem. You need to, like, if you want reform, then it has to be, you have to look at some sort of threshold and mark it there.
yeah.
And yes, that's going to screw people over, but you have to do something to help some sort of people. You can't do it on a case by case because that's impossible. In a perfect world, yes, you
Yeah.
would. Certainly. Everybody would meticulously comb through everything, but you can't do that. Now, as far as getting jail time, I could see him getting jail time. I could see him not getting jail time. Like, should he go to jail? I could go either way on it. If he doesn't, I wouldn't be angry. If he does, I wouldn't be upset either. But like you guys saying, big fine, no jail time. I'm like, yeah, I'd be all right with that. Get a big fine. That's true. But I also, in my same mind, I'm thinking there's got to be an amount of money where you would get some jail time, right? Like, wouldn't there be some threshold you'd hit where you'd be like, this is an ungodly amount of money. This guy's got to serve some.
We're talking just millions and millions and millions of dollars. Take the money away,
But that's the
and
other
fine him
thing.
a percentage based on that amount of money. So like you steal more money, or you get more money ill-gotten, then you get fined more.
Don't you think, like, if that was the case, that more people would be emboldened to do it because they'd be like, oh, I'm doing this with the expectation of not getting caught. But if I do get caught, at least I know I'm not going to jail.
I mean, it must be nice to be able to lose millions and
Yeah.
take it on the chin. So I don't know what to tell you.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
just
I'm
feel
just
like he's
thinking, I
being-
think if there is no potential threat of prison, I think more people would be emboldened to do it. But I'm not saying he should go to prison. I'm just saying it's another big issue
Well,
to
maybe
ponder.
if people had universal basic income and universal health care, then the necessity to steal all that money.
But he's in Japan.
Yeah, this is the thing. Yeah, you're
Okay, so maybe if they had
and-
that there.
But also on top of that, no, you're talking about Yuji Naka, the man we know has money.
Not as much anymore.
But right. But if we're talking in general, right?
Lost
Like
those
I would
rings.
rather, instead of threatening and punishing, I would rather.
Yeah,
would
but you're bringing
rather-
up a problem that it doesn't pertain to this at all. Like we're talking about Yuji Naka and his situation and multimillionaires and
well,
all
then
that.
I'll just be
Universal
quiet and merge mansion.
universal
See you
basic
later.
income is a thing I think at the table we would all love to see happen, but it doesn't like that's not going to stop Yuji Naka from insider trading. It's what he's doing. But we don't know if he'll get he doesn't we don't know if he's going to get prison time or not. We will find out in July, but it's certainly going to be interesting.
You know, I felt kind of bad for him when I heard that he could possibly get all this prison time. You know, just because I don't know. I like we just talked about it, I thought it was a little harsh, but I read a little bit about him. He seems like a jerk in real life. So
Tell me, I don't know.
Oh, I didn't read any more than that. I just heard that he was a jerk. But
Did you really hear this?
He's
only
always
on
telling people
controversial
you're too
Reddit
slow.
threads.
Oh, Really? Is that where it's coming from?
I have no idea, but probably. Where else would I get that in my head?
Okay, hold on a second. Did you read something that said he was a jerk?
Not official. It wasn't like from GoNintendo.
No.
Or anything.
No. I'm just asking.
Yes,
did you
I'm not making
okay.
it up. if
That's why
what
I didn't
you're
know
saying.
if this was a joke from somewhere. You were
It's
saying
not
like
a
I heard
funny
he's a joke.
It's not a joke. but
So
like,
somewhere you read something that said he's a jerk. Yeah.
yes.
So it's like the Tom Hanks Epstein plane like that.
I didn't follow up, so it could definitely be in that category.
I haven't heard anything offhand that he's a jerk, but I can't tell you all that much about Yuji Naka personally. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, I withdraw that then.
Well, so, I mean, he's wearing a really nice hat in that picture.
He does looks pretty fancy, and he's wearing like a Charles Nelson Riley ascot too. So I'm cool with it.
Yeah.
I'm cool with ascots, not bow ties. All right,
Yeah,
people.
There we go. Bolos, you never commented on Bolo.
I was gonna say I did actually, but might have gotten talked over.
Oh,
but
sorry.
I might hate bolos more than bow ties. So there you go. So there you go.
Wow. Moving on.
Might as well be a noose.
Very quickly, I'll mention that if you are a Switch Online member in Europe, your new free trial game is NBA 2K23. So if you want to give the latest basketball game a spin, you can do that on the Switch through Switch Online for free or at no additional cost to Switch Online until June 13th. So you can be straight up balling until June 13th. Sticer says, how much is Europe into the NBA? I guess enough for them to push NBA 2K game over there. Yeah, I got no clue. Great question.
Can I hate to go back, but Lanquin left a really funny comment about Yuji Naka. He says, "Fine him for insider trading, lock him up for Balan Wonderworld."
Now, see, that's what you do. That's what you do. You're right. That game, that's a crime against humanity.
See, that's what we need to start policing. If you put out a bad game, you go to the slammer, so people will put out less bad games and we'll only get good games.
Depends on who's deciding it.
I decide.
We are, yeah.
Well, then I still say we're in trouble. I say if I decide we're in trouble. So
if you decide, well, nothing's going to change. We'll have every single game ever.
No, we'll have no remakes.
Oh God, yeah, you better not be in charge.
We will have physical and digital re-releases, and I will allow up-res to HD and enhanced audio,
The king has spoken.
and that's it.
Oh no.
There you go. No remakes. You know what? That's too harsh. Heavy is the head that wears the crown. 40 years, and you can do one remake every 40 years.
40 years.
40 years after the release of a game. Yeah.
Come on, the 40 is a lot, man. We're not going to.
I'm
live 40 more
wearing the
years.
crown.
It's not for you to play. It's for younger generations.
There you go. Your time has come. You have
After the
original.
technology has advanced
Yeah,
to a
but-
point where
But
it
now
makes
I'm
sense.
jealous because they're going to be able to play the
You can
original
still play
and
it.
the remake.
So will you.
I'll be dead when the remake comes out because you put a 40-year.
Yeah, but there's games that have come before you. You'll be able to play the original and the remake. Time doesn't start and end with you. There's other people before you.
Yeah, but I don't want to play any of those old. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, but that's the point. There's games that come out before he's alive that he could still play the original and the remake.
Inside voices.
Oh boy. There's new Joy-Con colors coming out, guys.
Oh,
This is the
man.
big news.
I hope it's Easter colors.
Pastel.
Yes. Start off your summer in style with this new line of Pastel Joy-Con. Whether you're on vacation or at a family barbecue, you'll be looking cool with these colorful controllers.
Yeah. Good luck hiding gamer gunk on those things.
Pastel pink, pastel yellow, that comes together.
Pass the gas.
Pastel
That's
green
very
and
cool.
pastel purple. Those come
Pastel.
together.
Pastel ketchup and pastel mustard.
You can let me see. Oh, sorry. This is why I post these things as soon as they come out, because I was gonna say you were able to pre-order them from the My Nintendo store right when this was announced, and they were gone shortly thereafter. But on the 30th, they will be in your favorite local retailer, so you can go get them or order online whenever they open orders there too. But if you wanted them, they gone from My Nintendo store. Also, like Nicky Hill said, everybody want to Switch. As soon as the listing went live, you could pre-order a physical version. 10 minutes later, gone. So those are all spoken for. Now, we don't know how many Nintendo made. Could be probably a very small amount, to tell you the truth. But look at Metroid Prime Remastered. Pre-orders open for that. They were sold out almost instantly, and Nintendo actually had to say, we're going to put more out. We're sorry. So I don't know how many units they did here, but all physical from My Nintendo store are gone, and so are your Joy-Con. So good luck hunting online for other retailers
Good
or
luck.
in person when they launch. Again, June 30th. Sticer says, "Oh man, I absolutely need me some of these. Great to see more colors being released." Yeah, releasing. I think that's a great idea. Perfect Nintendo idea. You got everybody 1-2 Switch, a party game coming out, and then you give them new Joy-Con to get as well. So it makes sense. Also, remember you can play 1-2 everybody 1-2 Switch with your smartphone this time. So if you don't have enough Joy-Con for all your friends, they can use their phones. So there you go. Good stuff. That's what happened. Did I not make North America or Europe top? What did I pass them?
Nope.
What's happening?
They're not in there.
Why did
I
I-
searched for them. I didn't see the North American releases, but I did see European.
I didn't put them up. Somebody else did them this week, and they didn't mark them top stories. How embarrassing! I looked at them.
I didn't see. I even did a search. I don't see eShop at all.
I'll go in the back end and take a look.
Ew.
He's gonna
Through
rip
the back
Steve's
end.
it. Richard
So then,
Stevens.
do you have your list ready?
Yeah, I can do European releases for June 1st, right? If that's it came out June 1st,
We
so that
would
was
love
this
you to.
week.
It depends what Lord's year of it is.
What are the next European masterpieces? Let's find out with Nicky's sweet releases.
Thank you, Joshua. These are the European Switch eShop releases for the week of June 1st. We've hit it. We're in June 1st, the year of our Lord 2023. Hey, Raw Meat, Etrian Odyssey HD.
I got the perfect book for that.
Etrian Odyssey 2, Etrian Odyssey 3, all in HD, all available this week. Airy, The Lost Hero. I guess this is a different one. Etrian Odyssey Origins Collection.
Etrian Odyssey. Oh my
Origins,
God. Etrian Odyssey Origins Collection is Etrian Odyssey 1, 2, and 3 combined into one package. So they are releasing individually for $40 a pop or in a 3-game package for $80. So that is the much better deal by $40.
Yeah.
There you go.
There's the news. Power of Hex. Move the Pin Classic Logic Puzzle. Boxville. Oh, that Box Boy song.
Boxman.
Box Boy.
Boxman.
Koro Harley. Kuroi Tsubasa. Did I get that one right? Gyro Gunner, or maybe is it Euro
It's
Gunner?
a helicopter, so it's
Gyro.
gyro.
One of those
Jap-
right now.
Japanese Neko-sama, Escape the Sweet Shop. Why would you want to?
Let's take poor Nicky Hill. Oh, this is a sad story.
Pores.
Let's take poor Nicky Hill to Sonic today because he went last week to get a
last
shake.
week. Was it last week?
2 weeks ago?
I mean,
Does it
It's
matter?
been a long time.
He went recently to go get a shake, and they told him the ice cream machines were done.
Yeah, that's
We're writing that wrong today.
Japanese Neko-sama, Escape the Sweet Shop. As I said, why would you want to?
Cats and treats in one, like candy treats in one store. What more
yeah.
could you want? Yeah, lock me
Cat-
up there forever.
Here's cat hair lolly.
Oh,
Drop your
I
lollipop.
don't want
on
to be
them.
there anymore.
Yeah. Mad Road, apocalyptic shooter survival killer, highway traffic racer dash car racing simulator, math fight, multiplayer game.
Yeah, those all the
You
time.
know
in my
who?
house.
You know what kind of people do math fights?
Dorkus, Malorkus.
Yeah.
Ones that wear bow ties. Yeah, definitely.
So Much Stuff Collector's Edition. Project Nightmares Case 36, Henrietta Kedward. Killer Frequency. Hidden Bunny. Is that like a new rapper or like
Bad
music?
Bunny and Hidden Bunny.
Oh, okay, yeah. Zero G Gunfight. Ooh, that sounds tough. Horoscope signs. Discover the meaning of your sign. That doesn't sound like a game. It sounds like a article from Cosmopolitan. or
Hi, no blades, no bows. Good to see you. Hey, everything can be a game.
something. Beat Them Up. Street Fighter Band Simulator.
Hi, Khufu the Mummy. Hi, Blood Ocean.
WrestleQuest. Undead Horde 2.
Oh.
Necropolis.
Sarah, that looks so good.
Laser Pitium. Decarnation.
Oh, Decarnation. Check that one out. That looks
Check it.
really interesting to me.
Okay.
Looks like psychological horror. retro style RPG. It looks really very Japanese influenced. It looks really interesting to me. Very intriguing.
Okay.
Haven't heard any reviews yet.
The Tartarus key.
Heard that's
the
very bad.
key you need for the emulator.
That's it. They got the Wii's Tartarus key.
Yeah, so that came out this week. So everybody get your emulators.
Get your what?
Emulators.
I heard oatmeal elevators as well.
Get your oatmeal elevators. To hell with the ugly. That's what I'm talking about. Am I right?
William George, you're right.
That's really offensive, actually. I don't know what that game is about. Nakana Bundle number 6. There's 10 games in that. Nakana Bundle number 5. I don't know how many games are in there.
Those deals are like really good. Like if you want the games that's in there, it's like 70% off the total price of all
Is
those
Nakana
games.
a company?
Yes.
Never heard of him.
They put out a ton
Oh,
of
Yuji
stuff.
Nakana?
That's him.
He's going
yeah.
to jail, isn't he?
That's the guy.
Nakana Bundle
He made
number
Sonic
4.
the Hedgehog. I had so much trouble trying to say that wrong.
And Ivy the Kinui. No. The hedgehog one was bad. How do you say it?
Sononic.
Sononic.
Hedgehog. Sononic.
Paper Dominoes. That's the thin crust, probably. Home Sweet Home. Oh, this is one for the resident hentai expert, Hentai Girls.
There you go. My favorite kind of girls.
Sky Tales, Sky with an E. Don't know if that means anything. Is that the old English version? Old English spelling?
Oh God, this is
Like the Isle of
dragons. I don't know if I think it's ponies too.
Okay.
Ooh.
Dragon Ponies. Chronicles of Two Heroes, Amaterasu's Wrath.
Not
Not connected.
Nicky Hill's getting nude right now. There you go.
Check it out.
Okami shirt.
Yeah.
Get it out.
Amaterasu. Okami Den.
Nice.
I hope it is, right?
That's
The
Okami
internet's
Den.
full of things that look
Looks
similar.
like
You're right.
A little pup.
Yeah. So it's
Chibi
whatchamacallit?
Amaterasu.
Okami Den.
Okami Den. That's what
Yeah.
I said. Yeah.
The Blind
A booby
Prophet, Johnny Trigger, Mystical Mining, Monster.
the toilet runs. You got to pull the Johnny trigger a couple of times.
I'm jostling the Johnny trigger back here, and nothing's happening.
Remember, what is I forgot. What's the
Remember, I forgot.
You shake it more than once. You're playing with it.
That's right.
Monster Menu, the Scavenger's Cookbook, and Plumber Bundle 3-in-1.
Oh,
Got the old Plumber Bundle.
P-Bund.
No comments.
Five
No comments.
Whoppers. 5 more Whoppers. I couldn't even do it. Is that it? No.
That's it.
That's
That's
it.
all.
Oh, all right. Thank you.
That's it. That's all, man.
Solid Master Link says Nicky has me laughing more than usual this week. How much is
I
the
said there were no
usual? I'd love
comments.
to hear. Thank you, Nicky Hill.
Thank you,
Bruce Willis.
King Me Cowboy.
Oh, I like it.
Draw me King Boy.
Maybe Kobe beef cowboy. That's like, is there what's better than that? What's better than Kobe beef?
Wagyu.
Yeah.
Wagyu.
Wagyu. How do you say it? Wagyu.
All right, that's it. MomBrain, what have you been playing?
Merge Mansion.
How's it going?
Great.
That's great. Nicky.
I gave myself a 4-day weekend this weekend because we have off on Tuesday. So I took a personal day Monday. So just going to be able to relax a little.
Wait, this coming Monday?
Yeah.
You're off again this coming Monday? It's the end of the year. Oh, you might as well take it
Well,
off.
I had to take the personal day.
What are you gonna
'cause
do?
I had to use it before the end of the
What
school
are
year.
you going to do? Bonbons.
No, I'm going to do schoolwork.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah.
Nicky Hill, what have you
I've
been playing?
What's the club? Sea House G's
Nice.
and what is it? 51 G's. How do you even say it?
Solitaire. And
No, Moncala and
Yeah, 47.
Solitaire
or
and 50 other games.
G's.
Mhm.
50 other G's.
And then a lot of Tears of the Kingdom. A lot of it.
I saw that. Yeah.
I just made it past about 70 hours in a couple of weeks, and
yeah, that's probably where I'm
I
at.
still have no idea what I'm doing.
I haven't done any stories, so
I heard you guys talking about it. I did come across one of those
Tears.
glyphs or whatever, and I was like, "Oh, what's this?" And I was like, "Oh boy." I also went to this one place and I tried to open a door and I couldn't, and I'm glad I'm probably glad I couldn't.
Tony De La Mancha is at 100 hours.
Real proud of you.
Dude, you're at what? We
like
could just do a joint Zelda discussion.
4 or
again.
5 days ago, it said I was at 136, so I
There
got to
you
be
go.
over 150.
Super Sanchez is
Yeah, man.
140.
How is
Lanquin is at 150.
How's your compendium coming along? You have the coolest compendium. Are you still doing the selfie
know,
compendium?
For as many photos as I feel like I'm taking, it's nowhere near anything.
Well, not that you're filling it
I
up
got a picture-
because I feel like I've taken pictures of everything and there's still so much I
Yeah.
need pictures of. But like,
I mean, it still looks
I'm
good. It's
just asking how it's looking
you
because it
only
was
get
so
like
funny.
a couple of variations. That's why I've been taking selfies of all of the items and trying to take selfies with creatures.
It's so funny, guys. It's such a good idea, and it was so
only-
well
I
done.
think I only have a couple of photos that I saved here. So this is the one that I'm kind of proudest of. So it's a game. There's so much to do, and you can just sink a lot of time into it. And so I'm doing this selfie thing, which adds.
Throw it in the Discord.
How do
Yeah.
I do that?
You just hit the plus button.
Can I just do this and do Discord?
Just go into Discord, hit the plus button, and then do your picture.
All right. I'll do that in a second. Trying to get like good. I'm trying to also get like some good images out of it, and it takes a lot of time to like frame it up and everything because you're so limited. The camera doesn't move
Yeah.
how you want it to. And then I take a photo and I'm like, it looks like garbage. And then some of the photos look incredible with the lighting effects. And then I got this like when I found the one shirt, I don't. Can I talk about different outfits?
Yeah, that's fine.
The shirt with like light bulbs on it.
Oh yeah,
I got that, and I laughed so hard at how stupid that shirt looks.
I wore that a ton.
You look
And it,
like you're in a
clinks-
circus.
It clinks when you walk. I thought I was like dragging something.
I thought there was stuff going on outside of my house. Like I don't have surround sound. I just have like the audio's coming off of my TV, but the sound design in this game, it sounds like it's coming from like out the window.
I agree with you.
It's funny you say that because we posted specifically a blog from the sound designer of the game, and he was talking about how he struggled so hard with. He's like, there's so many things in this game, and you can wear so many things, and a combination of what you have on you, clothing wise and item wise. He's like the sounds that, like, to come up with the right sound to make everything sound unique. He's like, he did a whole thing to explain how he did it, and it was really awesome to read. So there's the proof that it worked out for him. So
Yeah. So
you have the
There's that.
mask. Do you have that the whatever that light up mask is too?
no, I only have the bird mask. And so like I'm taking selfies of things and like some of these masks are in there now. And I'm like, I might have to redo these. I don't know. But the thing with the light bulb shirt, like it casts a different light on Link's face. So now I'm like, oh, now maybe this is something that I want to look into.
I wore that armor more than any other armor, although that's going to change now because I have my things to do. What's it actually called?
I don't know. It's like it's a glow in the dark like skeleton armor. or
What's the
something.
armor? It's from Breath of the Wild that has
Oh.
the skull, like the bones on it.
Yeah, it's like your rave armor
I
or
don't
something
know what
like
it's
it, right?
called.
Yeah,
You get it
'cause
from the Gerudo.
I never got it in Breath of the
Taylor.
Wild. I knew it existed, but I just saw it in passing. And then Deux was talking about it here, and I had seen part of it, but I hadn't seen the whole thing. And then I took a closer look when he mentioned it, and I was like, "Oh my god, this is a luchador outfit. This is based off a Link's wearing a wrestling belt in it." So I was like, "I have to go get this," and I went to the town and did the quest and bought it right away. And I will, unless I need to for heat or warmth, I will never wear anything else. That is, I found my outfit. Radiant. Thank you, sir. The Radiant armor. So I am all about it. Now I just need to dye it a color, but I don't know what.
Yeah, I don't know what I dyed mine black just because I'm pretty boring. I dye most
Well,
of my stuff black. but
Mine started out as black.
you could dye
Oh,
it. You could dye it darker.
Oh, darker? Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what I'm gonna do, but I love it. I love it because especially it just you can wear plenty of stuff in cutscenes that looks weird, but Link in a
Yeah.
luchador mask, like I got the spoiler alert, I got the Master Sword last night, and it shows you that cutscene.
That's in
where
this
it's like-
game?
where it's like pretty awesome cutscene, but it's Link in a luchador.
Yeah, no, the same thing happened with me. I was wearing my full bird outfit because I was in the sky, and And then the whole time I was like, I look kind of silly, but it's funny.
I just randomly found the Fierce Deity mask in a cave last night before I quit.
I don't even know what a fierce deity
The
is.
Majora's Mask.
Oh.
Not the Majora's Mask. It's the Fierce Deity Link from Majora's Mask. He's got like the cool face paint and the bright white eyes. And
I did find a phantom mask or helmet. Were they a thing in other Zelda games, or is that just Phantom Choo Choo or something?
what are you talking about?
It's
I don't know.
it's like a piece of armor with horns on it, and it has red eyes.
Do you know?
Do you remember
It's not ringing
Phantoms
a bell
from Phantom Hourglass?
I do, yeah. I don't know if they're related. I would guess if it's called Phantom, then yes, it would be the same. This is Fierce Deity.
it's like
Oh, I
it's
don't
like Ganondorf's armor.
know.
No, again,
No, it's just like it's. I mean, somebody I'm sure will
If
end
you-
up posting it somewhere.
So there's like Phantom armor that's like, does it have stealth lines? Does it give you stealth up when
I
you
don't
wear
even
it?
remember. I wore it for a second and I was like, this doesn't work for my pictures, and then so I took it off.
Did you
Like,
get it for?
I am at risk here. I'm going to die. I die a lot more.
Super
frequently.
Sanchez, I see you saying it's that. Yes, I don't know what you're talking about. Could you leave a comment though? So we
Do
know
you
what we're talking about?
remember? Did you get it from doing one of those mazes in the sky?
No, I got it from.
Okay, then it wasn't that.
I got it from a cave by a beach. There's
Yeah.
caves everywhere. It's crazy.
There's a
Phantom Ganon gives stealth boost, says Highly and Tom. But it's not. I don't
it's
know.
the Phantom Ganon armor, but like it sounds like it's not the one he's talking about, because the one that I'm talking about you get from doing those three. You get a piece.
Yeah,
from doing
because
the
that
mazes.
mask is like a skull face with like.
It's like a Donnie Darko
like-
weird
Yeah,
skull
yeah, yeah.
So
with ears.
I guess this is.
Yeah, I didn't
these
say
these
how I
full
got it.
outfits,
Langford.
but I'll just show you. I can't. Great. I
Tony
got
De La Mancha says
that
it is
mask.
the Phantom Knife for Spirit Tracks.
Oh,
Nintendo says the
that's
pink Phantom
Spirit
armor from the
Tracks,
DS
or,
game.
That is. That's
Phantom
cool.
Yes,
Hourglass.
Phantom Hourglass. All now we have 3 confirmations in
Cool.
the Discord. There you go.
Cool.
Yeah,
So
I didn't-
that-
Oh, if I saw it, yeah.
so I have
would've
that helmet.
Cool.
But again, I'm not wearing a lot of other things
known. I haven't
because
gotten any of that. I haven't even seen. I knew it was in the game, but I haven't seen it.
I've got all
personally.
kinds of stuff. I got Majora's Mask. I've got
I don't have that.
I've got Rovio's mask, that purple bunny head from
I want that.
from
I
what's
don't
it called?
have that.
Is that the
Link
Link
Between
Between
Worlds.
Worlds? And then what else do I have? I found the Wind Waker, the blue lobster shirt. I found that.
I have that.
Um,
Yeah. Blood
but,
Ocean. There's a lot of shrines like that. Blood Ocean said, "Has anyone else found a shrine that needs the green rock to activate it?" There's a decent amount of
bunch
those.
of them.
When I found my first one, I was, I was a week and a half in before I found it, and then since then I've seen a whole bunch more, and I've done that. So, there you go. Oh yeah, I've gotten a whole bunch of tunics for a lot of eras of Link, like
Oh yeah.
all those. I got some pieces of all of them, almost all of them, but not a full set. I don't think.
I sent you that one, right?
Yes,
Because that's the one you said you
That
wanted
one's so
to see.
cool.
it's really good.
But of course, like when you actually get your actual, like in the compendium, it's all zoomed in. You don't really see that stuff. So that's why I'm trying to frame things up within the thing. But
While
does-
thinking of what the thumbnail is
that's
going to
the,
look
exactly. Well, because when you bring up your camera, it gives you the thumbnail border. So I'm like trying to frame it. I think I got a fairy yesterday and a warm darner.
like.
Is it?
Mm-hmm.
And they're like impossible. I don't know if I'm gonna get a restless cricket photo because they're restless. They just don't stop. If I cut,
Oh
like,
my
I'm like,
God.
I've been practicing of like cutting grass and then opening my
wow.
camera to try to get a still, and it's just not
That's
gonna
tough,
happen.
yeah.
Anastasia, I just did that quest. Anastasia, a couple of days ago, I was talking about the stable quest where all the guys are in their underwear. I love that quest.
I
It's
haven't
so
seen
good.
that one.
You haven't done that quest?
No.
Have you, Nikki Hill? Have you done the quest where the guys at the stable are all in their underwear?
No.
I won't spoil it. It's a great quest. It's
Man,
really funny.
How
I
did
really
miss
like
these
it.
guys, because I've been at every stable. I thought like a million times.
Yeah, they're right out in front of the stable on like not even 50 feet away on the ledge of a
They're
cliff,
all
like
standing out there in their panties.
exercising in their boxers. They,
that's
what do they
hilarious.
call them? They call them underpants
Oh.
specifically. I
Well,
know
that
you
might
like
not
the
make
word
it into the
underpants.
Well,
compendium,
you
but
know-
I'm gonna strip down and take a picture with those
By the by,
guys.
people giggle. I use the word underpants
Yeah, it's a funny word.
always. I mean, unless I'm being silly and saying like panties. But people giggle at underpants.
Yeah, because it's funny because no
Yeah.
one says it.
Yeah, underwear is what people
Underwear.
say, and that's not funny at all. So when you hear underpants, it's
I don't know
funny.
why you think it's not funny. No one says underpants. I don't know anyone and have never heard anyone say underpants outside of you and now this game.
In fact, I find the word pants, the word pants as it is normal. But like if you add anything to it, long pants, that makes me short
Yeah, short
pants,
pants.
that makes me laugh. Poop pants, that makes
Also,
me laugh.
underpants.
Swim
They're not
pants.
pants. They're not pants.
Underpants are worn under pants.
Yeah, but it's got pants in it. They also are worn under shorts and under skirts
No,
and
but-
under dresses and
But
under everything.
the item that they are.
That's why you call it underwear, because you wear them under everything.
You know, my mother doesn't use underpants, panties, underwear.
Skivvies.
Then why
No.
the heck aren't we calling socks under shoes?
You've never heard her say it?
Unmentionables.
That's actually
Nope.
Trying to think of what other underwear words there are.
Skivvies.
My privates.
Mm-mm.
My
bloomers.
delicates.
Nope. Mm-mm.
Knickers.
Nope.
That's all I got.
Gotchis.
Nope, never heard it.
Interesting.
Gotchis.
Greeblies and
Always been
gotchis.
gotchis.
I got you, gotchis right
There you
here.
go.
There's even
You-
more gotchis laying around.
You and Captain Underpants. Roth has got your back. Undergarments. Should guess that.
Captain Ganchis.
Yeah. Captain Gotchis, yeah.
Gotchis.
Gotchis.
Captain Gotchis.
Yeah.
Captain Gaucho.
But yeah, enjoying it. But I don't know. I've spent a little bit of time on the road the past couple of days, like not driving long distances, but
On the road again.
like
Throw the bag in.
And I've been real irritable and just miserable, and I don't know if it has anything to do with all my Zelda playing.
You definitely. I'm sure that's it. Yep.
Like I'm outside in the real world,
Yeah,
or
you
the also
never-
the fact that like I've spent so many hours trying to do the simplest tasks in Tears of the Kingdom, and I'm getting really frustrated with my inability to just do simple
Have
things.
you- I'm
saying
sorry
on
to
the
do this.
road. You mean in real life?
Yeah.
Like you're okay. So
Yeah.
this is
And I hate everybody.
because you just want to be back playing. Because that's I don't blame
Partially,
you
but
for
I
that.
also I do acknowledge that like I've been getting really frustrated with playing.
Have
And
you
that's just-
noticed a trend? And I'm sorry to do this,
That
but
I'm
it's
a
a trend with
cranky,
you and when
miserable
you play
person?
games. You always talk about how you get really frustrated when you like this is a regular thing for almost all games you play minus
I talked to do
solitaire.
about it. Like there's simple tasks where I'm like, that's all I need to do. And to fashion the tool that I need to do it, it just doesn't happen.
So
and
you build it once and use auto build.
if I can build it once, then I will. But it's taking me over an hour to build a simple, stupid thing. Tried to ding a Goron's bell, and he's like, he didn't actually time it. He doesn't actually time it,
exactly what you're
talking about, but
that's great.
but it starts like 3, 2, 1, and the music's playing, and I'm like, I feel like I'm rushing to do it, and there's no reason to rush. But like I was trying to get it to build it, and like I just wanted to stick two things together, and it's like I'm like I'm going slow, and I'm trying to go smooth, and things don't line up, and it's that just frustrates me. Also, some of these shrines, things have to be, they don't have to be perfect, but for some reason I'm trying it and I know they're not perfect, but they're ballpark and they're not working, and I'm just like, I start losing my mind.
For example, a shrine that sticks out in your head. Want to see if we've all been there?
Well, there's one where there's a big ball and you have to get it down the rails. So the first one, it's 2 rails and the ball fits fine. And then
You
the
talked
next
about
one,
this like 2 weeks ago.
I was
think
going
I
to
showed it
ask
to
if
you.
it
I
was
don't
the
know.
same thing. You did talk about this.
Did I talk about it on
Yeah.
the podcast? Yeah. And it like, I spent probably 45 minutes to an hour trying to get the pieces to fit the way I wanted them to fit so that it could ride the last rail. And it like pieces were just like thrown all over the place. And I'm like, no, I want it to go straight right here. And I line it up and I press attach and it goes, "Bwah." I'm like, that's not what I wanted.
Do you line things up on the ground first?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm trying.
I've played so much. Took me so long to get used to the controls for moving it around and like just seeing when that little icon comes up, like when you get two things close together and it looks like there's that little phantom sticky, like you can stick it. It took me forever to get, because like I'd be like, oh, stick it, and then it would be like,
Right.
and I'd be like, what is this? So I don't know. There was just something about, and now I can do it probably just because I played over 150 hours, but I could just like eyeball it, and
You're
I
looking
know
into the
when the
Matrix.
sticky is. I think I am. I played through the pain too. Like I have to wear.
Oh,
I
yeah,
still
you
have
do.
to wear my wrist straps when I play. But
Your
I don't.
wrists are looking
But I don't-
svelte.
Nice.
But I don't really play them.
All
I
that
don't. I can't.
exercise.
I don't really wear them when I'm not playing. But like, if I sit down and like say I forget to, because like I'm comfortable most of the day. So say I forget to put it on. If I sit down for 5 minutes and play, then it's like a reminder. Like, oh my god. So
I feel
Lanquin
like-
brings up a great point, and I was going to say this earlier. There are so many ways to solve puzzles, and if you ever have a problem with a ball, you could do exactly that. Like Lanquin says, fuse it to anything you got and throw it where you need it, and you're done.
I never thought of that.
Yeah,
There's
there's
a lot of
so
things I
many
haven't
ways. Last
thought
night
about.
I was doing one with a ball where I had to get to. All right, so there's a big ball and a little ball, but the little ball was far off in the distance and was rolling down this thing into a hole, and I needed to get the little ball to activate this slot over here for a big ball and a little ball, and it's all shrines, so you can't climb up the walls. And I'm like, well, how am I supposed to get up to where the little ball is? And I was like, oh, there's a platform behind me I can use Ascend on. So I did that, and I dragged the big marble ball over, and I was doing run backwards on the ball to get over there. And I'm like, I got 3/4 of the way there, and I'm like, I'm an idiot. I picked up the big ball and put it where I wanted to go on the ledge and ascended through the ball to on top of the ball, and then got to the little ball.
Brilliant.
It's like, how did I not? I was like, so stupid.
So there's one that has 2 gears and there's a
Yep.
bunch of sticks, and like
I've done it.
it raises there's 2 platforms that go up.
Yeah.
But it with the height of one stick doesn't go up high enough
Mm-hmm.
to get onto the platform. So I went and I took the treasure chest and attached that to the top of the stick, and it gave me like
Yeah.
that much more, and I was like, it'll work.
I've used the treasure chest a whole bunch of times to do stuff. Yeah, I used it to weigh down like a platform the other day. I had just not enough stuff, and I was
Oh,
like, I
it's
need like
fun.
one more thing that's not my body. And I was like, the treasure chest, and I put it on, and it was just enough to
Nice.
tip it. I was like, perfect.
Are there things that you do that do not affect gameplay, but you do it out of quirks? An example, I don't like, it's not like a big thing, it's not a big deal, but any of the blessing shrines, I'll run up, open the chest, get whatever, and then just jump over the chest like a kid jumping over the back of a sofa and then climb up to the top and like end the shrine, like
I'm trying to think if there's anything I do like that, because I mean, I do that in real life all the time, stupid crap, but I can't think.
yeah, like what would be the equivalent of walking backwards up the Castlevania stairs?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I thought of while you
it's
were
just
talking
like
about this.
silly things. I don't know. It's just like a fun.
Have you? So you guys know that some shrines are like mostly they're like the mission shrines where you walk in and there's not a puzzle. It's just Raru's blessing and it kind of gives you a
Yes.
freebie. Have you guys gotten to one that's not quite that
Yes.
yet? Wasn't that a
I went to
mind
go
F?
do it, and I'm like, another one where you just run up to get it, and then what happens
got
happens. I was like, whoa,
crazy.
what's going on
Oh
here?
man, I haven't seen that.
Yeah, we won't ruin it, but that's the only one I've seen that's different.
That's the only
of
one.
Those. I was like, I don't know why that one. You know what? When I opened the chest and it gave you what it gives
It gives you something, and I was like,
I know what
this-
it gives you.
Yeah, I forgot.
I don't want to
but I was
say it,
like-
but I was like, why is it giving me this? And
Yeah.
then the thing happens.
Yep.
I was like, oh,
Yep.
all right. Lanquin says, I love that one. It was a fake out. Yeah, it was really cool.
it was awesome.
Because
I,
Nintendo was like, what if just like one of them, this thing
it's
happens?
brilliant because when you see that you're at Raru's blessing, you're just like freebie,
Yeah,
booyah, like you just run right up. I mean, some like personally, I love all the puzzles in the real shrine. So like,
Yeah.
but like I get it because you're kind of doing a puzzle to open the shrine.
Yes.
But yeah, that
Wow.
one messed with me, and I was like, so then I was like, I don't know what to believe anymore. But yeah, nothing's different.
Wow. Eileen and Tom, did you see that? 285 hours.
I mean, it's living the dream.
Good, it's good.
Have there even been that many hours
Well,
since the
that's
game
what's
came out?
crazy.
Weeks,
I
3
feel
weeks.
like my employment the last 2 weeks has been like 9 to 5 and then some overtime with Tears of the Kingdom, and I'm still not even close to that. So good for him.
There's one proving ground that I just walked out of. It's
I haven't seen a proving ground in forever.
It's
I'm
by
thinking
the,
I did them all.
by the Laurelin, is it village or whatever, the one that's like taken over by pirates or something. Here's a question.
Yes.
I've come across a couple of ships,
Mm-hmm.
and there's a lot of instances where like you're on a platform and there's a grate and you're like, oh, there's something around. So then like you go searching around and you find another way in through a cave, and then you come up under the platform and there's a chest in that thing. It's like probably a piece that fell from the sky.
Yeah.
The pirate ships or monster ships, whatever, that you come across have a grate in the ground in the middle of the floor. And I haven't found a way into these ships yet.
I haven't been in one.
And I don't know if you can get, like, it might just be a thing that's just the design of the ship and
Yeah.
you actually can't. But it seems like a perfect place to get to.
I have
I
not
don't
been
know.
in one.
Yeah,
But,
I haven't either. And I was in a cave. I was in like a cave system, and there was like a grate that you could ascend through. And when I did, I was able to use Ultra Hand to lift the grate up.
Oh.
Now I didn't
Oh,
try
you're
it.
right. I did that in
Yeah.
underneath Hyrule Castle. I
Yes.
did a great with
So
Ultra Hand.
I don't think you can do that on the pirate ships, and I did the pirate ships, and I didn't get inside
them
them,
as
so I
well.
don't think you can.
That was
I
one
think
thing
it's
that really
just for
frustrated me.
decoration.
The one team of whatever, they were like, hey, we, well, they don't ask for your help. They just can't get over to the thing.
Bolson.
Well, Bolson, I mean, we made a great team.
Oh
Well,
yeah.
Mhm.
The man's great. Man's got it all.
And but I went to join a group of fighters or whatever to fight a bunch of monsters on a ship, and it took me what I think is way too long to fight that group. Like I died.
Hey, I got great news. There's no time limit.
No, I know, but I died so many times, and like I just want to accomplish things when I get into the game, and I don't want to keep like dying and restarting and restarting and restarting. I don't
So
know.
it's a big game. Go somewhere else. Have a couple successes somewhere else. Go back and fight them later.
Yeah, but I'm there now.
And a lot of times, I really try to think of alternate ways to like get into the fight, because if I ever go in there like just swords blazing, I
Yeah.
always get my butt kicked.
No, and I keep I tried 10 different times, and I was like, this is ridiculous. But I don't know. My favorite item is Muddle Bud.
Oh yeah, that
Hands
helps.
down.
That
Hands
gets some good
down.
hit a boss
I
buck
haven't
goblin with that.
even used it once.
Oh.
I know what they do, and I've
I
never
love it.
used it.
I love it.
It's
You
a
just
lot of
stand
fun.
back and just watch the chaos.
What I'm trying to. Well, this is a great segue.
You would think I'd
Uh,
like the puffer whatever ones.
I've been putting out the adventure log videos, and I put out a new one yesterday, and it's probably my favorite one because I do the worst. Like the clips that go on in this one are nuts. But there was a point when I was saying this. Oh, I was fighting a Frox in the depths, and I had fought Frox before. And I was like, you go on their back, you break the things. When they buck you off, you use the glider, and then they open their mouth, and you can shoot a bomb in, and it hurts them. And
I don't know what this animal
rinse and
is.
repeat.
What are you talking about?
Big giant black frog in the depths. There's a few of them.
Didn't know it.
So I went to go do it with this guy. Rinse and repeat. But he was in a heat zone, and I was wearing all the heat protective clothing, and I wasn't thinking. And I'm like, this guy's dead. I pull out my paraglider, fly away, pull out the bow and arrow, put the bomb on it, blow myself up. Because they ignite in the heat right away.
That's right.
So I just killed myself right there. I was like, oh, God, so stupid. So that's in the video, among other fails. So go watch that.
Yeah, I've definitely done that before.
Yeah. And
It's
the fight was going
So I
so
guess that's
well.
what they said. There's like creature sounds in different areas. That's what those things are, probably.
It's some of them. There's other
there's so
things
much
down
that I-
there.
70 something hours, and I still haven't even seen. Like,
You got
a
plenty of
fraction
things down there.
what's-
Frox and Lionels and other regular enemies and Yiga running around. And
Right. I've seen the Yiga. I haven't seen a Lionel down there, or I've seen the little Froxes or whatever.
The little
Yes.
Froxes,
Yeah.
yeah.
Because you guys last week were talking about how you can drop bloom seeds and they'll still stay there, but those little suckers eat them.
They
oh,
like to
I
eat
didn't
'em.
know that.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
go right for them. If they
Wow.
don't see you, they'll go for the
Because I
had no
seeds.
idea.
I was just traversing the area,
That's
and
pretty
an
cool.
area that I came from was going dark, and I'm like, what the heck? They just burn out after time. And I heard them, and I came down, and I even saw one eat. I was like, you little stinker.
That little tidbit is still so impressive to me that your lights stay down there. I can't understand.
So, there's areas that I'm sure you guys have seen where you have to like use a rock hammer to break down a big wall that's like
Yeah.
like rocks, and you can use bombs too, but like it's it used to be put a bomb and you blow up a thing and it makes a link size hole and you go through it. Now
Yeah.
it's like you make it as big or as small as you want, because it's like, and that stays. Like if you knock just
Yeah.
a few like little rock, like it keeps all
I
those
know, because I've been
formations.
to a few of them I've been to before, and I've made just like little holes for me to crawl through. And when I get back, there's like a little
It's
thing I
really-
gotta like scroll.
But it's helpful because it's like, oh,
wheel.
I've been here. This is where I've been
Yeah.
too, like that. But what bugs me is they can do all of that with the memory of the Switch, I'm guessing, to have, it knows where your rocks are, it knows where every bright bloom seed you threw is. But like if I walk 2 feet from my flying helicopter and like
Right.
turn my back,
It's
it's
gone.
gone. And it's like, what the heck?
That's what I was gonna say. Like
Same
some
with,
of
like,
these things that
weapons, too.
I spend an hour making it, and it's gone. I know I can just rebuild it, blah blah blah, but that's not
Well,
the
I'd rather
point.
complain. Yeah, I had it happen to me the other day. I fought one of the big block guys, got the emerald from him or the gem, whatever it is, flew it up to where it needed to go, and there was something. You fight the block guy, he drops the spiky cylinder thing, and I didn't have anything to fuse it to, and I was like, let me go grab a weapon I saw over here, and I went and grabbed it, came back, and I was like,
It was gone.
the thing I wrote up was gone, and the gem was back down. Just I didn't have to fight the guy again, but it was down on the thing, and I was like, so I had to go. So I, the whole point for the whole reason I walked away, I couldn't do anymore.
Yeah, I learned my lesson early, so now I just, and if I don't have an available weapon, I'll like fuse it to a shield and then
That's
break
what
it
I
down
should-
later. Or
that's what I
something,
should
just
do, yeah.
because
Go to
it's
that
So
guy.
wait, when you break
frustrating.
it down, you still
You
get
got to go to a
the item?
special guy at
Oh.
Terrytown.
Terrytown is where the guy
There's a
is.
Goron guy that you pay him what 20
20
rupees, and he
rupees.
breaks it apart. You get 2 pieces individually, so you can.
The one shrine was all about shields and stuff, and never occurred to me, but I love it. Throwing a rocket on my shield and just being like,
Oh yeah, I've done that a
straight
few
out,
times.
straight out of danger.
I've done it a few times.
And I didn't even think about this. I saw, I don't know if it was a TikTok or what, an Octorok balloon.
Mhm.
You just use those and you'll
Yeah,
just float
float,
away.
yeah.
Octorok balloons and throwing damaged weapons into the gray Octoroks. When they suck things up, they'll spit out a fresh weapon for you.
Oh,
all fixed
really?
up. Yep, they're in the volcano area. Only the gray ones. When they go to suck in,
The
take your
gray,
weapon.
as in like the rusted ones.
No, gray is a
Gray
gray
monsters.
Octorok.
Oh, I'm sorry.
They'll suck in air. When they do that, you throw your weapon. They'll eat it and spit back out, completely replenished, sparkling and everything. All good. So if you got something you really don't want to break, take a quick trip there and throw it at him, and you're good to go.
And make sure you
I've
put
just been
your
breaking everything.
make sure you put your shield out, because he spits it back at you and it could hurt you.
Yes. Well, that's more Zelda talk for this week. Nobody else played anything
Um,
else, right?
There's other stuff to play.
There is.
Not for
It's
me.
piling up. We got questions. Send your questions to goninpod@gmail.com.
Week after week, and we'll just keep hearing more and more and more.
That's right. The saga.
Spoiler alert, MomBrain. Questions.
I'm sorry, did you ask me something or?
Hell.
Too early for
$1.
Where?
Oh.
Goninpod@gmail.com.
I'm sorry, I wasn't paying
You can ask
attention.
about video game or Nintendo video games in general, or whatever the
Hell.
you want. AutumnalBlake, this week's question. I'm writing this question on the toilet.
Been there.
What do you do in the toilet?
Writing on the toilet.
Watch TikToks or Instagram Reels or YouTube or read Reddit. It's pretty much it nowadays.
Yeah, that's what I do.
So that was the question.
What do you do in the toilet besides poop?
Oh
Or
yeah.
pee?
I save room in my bathroom by not having a magazine rack. Remember those?
Yeah.
I do remember them.
My grandparents always had catalogs.
Hmm.
So it was
I,
a great option. A little window shopping while you're.
As long as I had something. I mean, I've read like the back of shampoo bottles before.
I've read the back of tampon boxes so many times when I was a kid. That's how I learned about toxic shock syndrome very early on. I was like, this is a serious problem women need to deal with.
Man, see, that would have been way more beneficial for me than shampoo.
Well, I was past the light reading of shampoo bottle. Everything within reach easily I had already read. So I had to like lean off the toilet to get the tampons from underneath the counter, read those and all that.
You know, I don't know anyone who's ever had toxic shock syndrome. I mean,
They're dead.
maybe the literature, really helped, but
Yeah, that's right.
for as much as it's discussed in all the
It's
literature.
not really. People never really talk about it. I talk about it a lot.
Okay.
Nikki Hill, what do you do?
I mean, I just surf the web. But I was
Okay.
gonna just say that earlier today, my phone was charging, and I was like, I'm not gonna unplug it to go to the bathroom. It's probably the quickest poop I've taken in a really long
There
time.
you go. Patreon question. MomBrain, did you know you could join Patreon?
For $1.
$1. Steve Irwin, RIP, joined for $1. The lovely person they are. Hi, RMC and podcast crew. I've been heartbroken since the amount of songs in the music section each week has been drastically cut down. I'm not angry, just disappointed. Oh. I thought I'd explain why in this question instead of moaning every week in Discord and coming across as rude. Never rude. The music section has always been my favorite part of the show in the 10 plus years I've been listening, and now I look forward to it every week. I think it's because it's like a game show. And ending a few hours of great discussion with a really fun idea like that is a great way to bring the podcast to a close. That's why I started doing it. I thought the same.
Music.
I'll really get into it, and you crew going for a perfect score. The excitement of when someone takes a random punt on a song and it turns out to be right, and the heartbreak when someone doesn't get a song they actually knew. I realize that it's silly, me getting so excited. Never apologize for being excited about something. The prospect of the crew getting a perfect
Unless
score when
it's
I also
insider trading.
send or bow ties. Send in songs to try and stump you, but the few times I've seen it happen live has made my week. I got trains, you got bow ties, baby.
Wait a minute. You like trains?
You like bow ties.
No, wait, what?
This is how it goes. As with all game shows, they thrive on rules, which is why I wish there were 10 songs every week. Again, as a nice round number that has consistency week by week of watching your favorite game show. Sorry if this all sounds ungrateful. It does not. It sounds passionate. But I'd happily send 10 songs a day if it meant 10 songs every week. Sorry for the wall of text, but it's been keeping these. But I've been keeping these very specific feelings in, and I had to get them out. Well, they're out. They're heard. You are heard, my friend. You're appreciated. You don't sound rude or anything. Yeah, it was just I want to make sure we have enough songs.
So how many songs we
Let
got today,
me
MomBrain?
look.
2?
Let me look this week for next week's show. Let me judge where we're at with songs. If you want to help, send in a boatload of songs, every listener. We have a lot in there. I know we do. But send in more because the music only happens when you guys send in music. So let me go in. I'll reassess where we're at. I'll see how many 10 a week will get us. And I'll figure something out next week. So this week, let's do 6.
I got music. You want?
And then we'll
hear it?
we'll see where we're at next week with the intention of upping it back to the original 10. So there is hope. All hope's not lost, my friend. And I can see you're passionate about game shows, and I can certainly side with that because I love me a game show.
Our first song comes from AutumnalBlake.
Can you go up?
No.
This World of Goo?
No.
I don't know what game has kazoos right off the bat.
Is it Rayman?
There's a kazoo noise in Rayman. That's a good one. I feel like I might know this song, but not the kazoo part.
Night in the Woods.
No.
I don't know. Go ahead.
Outer Wilds.
Oh, I haven't played that yet. Heard so many great things too.
Is it a whimsical game?
I thought you did play it, like you started it or something, didn't you?
Mm-mm.
Your cousin did. Or your brother-in-law. Your brother-in-law
Yes,
did.
loves it. Yeah.
I'm not cut out for this wilds.
This next one comes from Steve Irwin, RIP. How funny.
Wow.
I don't know where the downbeat
It's
is.
familiar.
I'm pretty sure you played it.
Is it first party?
No.
That noise is first party.
It's very like
Galaxy.
Mario Galaxy.
It's
What
space?
system?
Presently on the Switch, but that's not where it was originally.
We?
Did it come from a different console?
RPG.
I don't think so.
Live Alive?
No.
Is it HD 3D, HD 2D, 3D?
God, you got
What was that other game? Octopath
She
Traveler.
said it's not RPG, right?
it. I don't think it is.
This really rings a bell for me, and it's not coming through. Go ahead.
Klonoa 2.
Oh dear, that's why it's been so long. Jesus. Yeah, I haven't played the remake,
Who
but
made
I bought the
Klonoa?
collection.
That wasn't Yuji Naka as well.
Nah, it's somebody you don't know.
You never met him.
This song comes from Steister.
Super Nintendo.
Yep.
Skate or Die?
No,
2? 3?
Could be Square.
I don't know.
Could be Capcom, but bad Capcom.
This band is tight.
You don't have a company?
I do. Chemco.
Ay. It's some bad side-scroller fighting game. Solar Jet Man. That's not it. That's not what I'm
No.
trying to think of. Rival Turf.
No.
Hockey and Rocky. That's a good
No.
game. Some racing game.
Nope.
Some fighting game.
I don't.
Is it a franchise of some sort? Not licensed.
It's got to be like a beat 'em up.
Doesn't look like that.
Oh, okay.
Shoot 'em up? Shmoo?
I don't know. Go ahead. We're not getting any of this week.
Lagoon.
Oh, nope.
You know, when I
Never heard
heard
of
that, that's all I could think. Like, this is soothing,
It was
like
on the
sitting
tip of
by
my
the
tongue.
side of a lagoon.
This one comes from Mikey3319.
Jesus, are we going to get any this week? Is it Super Nintendo?
No.
N64?
Nope.
Oh, what?
GBA.
I guess
This
that
is-
base is GBA.
This is licensed.
Harvest Moon.
It is not Harvest Moon.
Is it like a Looney Tunes or something?
Is it licensed?
No.
What's got farms and horses or something? Are there farms or horses involved?
In this part, maybe, but that's not the theme of the game.
Go ahead. We don't know.
Mario Pinball.
I've never played that.
Huh.
Never, ever.
Call yourself a Nintendo fan.
I know, right?
This song comes from Turbo K.
Don't deserve to wear this.
That sounds really familiar.
It
That
has to be
sounds familiar.
Castlevania something, right?
It's Square Enix.
Leighton Kaito.
It is.
No way.
Yeah.
Holy cow! That's what what's his name loves.
That's it. It happened.
There you go.
Bait and Kaito should pull it out of your ass. Wow, good for you.
That's so cool.
And then you
Pulled it
lean
out of your
down like you went to
keister.
grab his ass. Like you're
Oh,
like,
no.
pull it out of your ass, and then you lean down.
Coming to the Switch this summer, 1 and 2 remake. We all love our remakes.
Out of the keister, bait and kite toast.
Not for 40 years, I don't.
And the last
Well,
song
this
for the
is
week
like 20 years, so.
comes to us from
There's
Fart
2 games.
Blossom.
Ooh, Robert Miles the game.
Tell me a fable.
I don't even know what system. This could be N64 era.
It's not.
GameCube?
Nope.
Wait, all right, tell me.
DS.
This sounds high quality. For
Hotel
the DS.
Dusk.
No.
So you're trying to sleep in Hotel Dusk and you hear the hotel next door.
Medios,
No.
Lumines,
No.
What's the one with the guys in suits that play songs for dead people?
Elite Beat Agents.
No, but that's a great description.
Holy, you just gave me a great idea. All right, we don't know.
Kill somebody and play a song for them.
Sprung.
Oh, you would have known that.
I wouldn't have, based on the music.
You gave me a great idea.
Uh-oh.
A new segment on the show where people write a one-line poor description of a game and we figure out what the game is.
That's great.
I think that's
that
a
was
fun
kind
idea.
of like a new segment. Cool.
I think yes.
Sure.
I think that's it.
Cool,
I think we should try that. Guys, I'm putting out the call right now. Send it to the questions email for now. We'll give it a shot. Write a one, I'll allow two, but a one or two sentences that describe a game and do it in loose terms, but still enough that you think we would guess what the game is. I think that could be fun. Putting out the call. I will be checking your email on
What's the
Saturday.
email?
Go ninpod@gmail.com.
Where?
Go ninpod@gmail.com. Just for now, we're going to test it out. We'll do it for a
We'll
couple
test
weeks to
it.
see how it goes.
Do you
Test it
think
out?
you
I
would
think
have?
there's some ideas.
Now we knew that was a DS title, so do you think with my description you would have gotten that not knowing? Like, say you didn't know it was DS, you probably wouldn't have known what.
What
got
was your-
it was
Oh.
three guys
I
in
would've got it,
suits
yes.
that play songs for dead people. You would have gotten
yes,
that
100%.
Okay,
Yes.
Oh, so that's like
That's a perfect description.
Yeah,
honest-
really.
good.
honest summaries of game, like
Hylie and
like,
Tom.
like honest movie trailers.
Elf guy wanders continent collecting leaf poops.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, it's a perfect idea.
That's
you got it.
perfect,
You got
yeah.
it. Man, I'm excited for this. This could be a lot of fun. You know what else I'm excited for? Well, if you have one, is there a rumor this week?
There is, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Do you want to know?
I would love it.
Good, because it just came across my desk,
I
and
love it.
I can't hold these secrets in anymore.
I can't hold my piss in anymore. It's right there.
Lou's views, Lou. Deux
Lou's
views.
views. Wow.
Did you just give up your informant?
What?
Wow.
Where did that come from?
Your informant is
Deux-
Lou Bega?
Mambo number
Captain
5.
Lou Albano. Lou's
Beyond the
views.
Grave.
I said it again. Deux views.
Wow.
It's never news. Man, I might have to get a CAT scan after this.
How much blood did they take?
Well, that was days ago. That's why I don't know why it's
Yeah, bruise. That's
bruise
normal.
I got-
That's normal. Yeah.
I got one
I got
That's
one
when they're
where
really
it's
digging
like
around
an
in
arm.
your arm.
that was so bad that I sent my mom a picture and she was like, "Go to the
Ooh.
doctor."
This
Yeah,
is true.
I
perfectly normal.
had it done a couple of months ago, and whoever did it, the lady was amazing, and I almost thought she didn't do it because I refused to look,
Yeah.
and like I didn't feel a thing. Then this other girl who did it just the other day, she's trying to do the left arm, and she's like can't find a vein, and I was like I didn't even know that was a thing. So
Oh,
then I was
yeah.
like, well, I guess use the right arm, and then she was like trying it, and I was like, I just know this is gonna hurt, and it hurt. And I'm bruised now. But anyways, whatever. It's fine. That's not
weird,
the
that's
rumor.
a weird rumor.
That's not the rumor.
So
So
that one was true.
well, yeah, this one is true actually.
Oh, we're
So-
lucky. We're lucky.
So
Thanks to Lou.
we found out why Yuji Naka decided to do insider trading. So he was a little hard up for money. He was expecting a big bonus, and Sega reached out to him and was like, "We're sending you something. It's going to be really great." And he was like real excited to get it. He waited all week to get it, and it was this exact, actually, Etrian Odyssey Origins
Wow.
Collection graph
I
book.
get it.
And he was like, you know what? This isn't going to pay the bills. So he did what any normal person
Oh
would
my
do.
God! All his investors' notes are in here,
and he
right? They're
broke
right
the-
here.
And he broke the law. But anyways, so that was my view this week.
Lou from Lou.
That was from
Great job,
Lou.
Lou. Great job.
In lieu of a view, I have one from Deux.
Wow, that's a haiku.
That was amazing.
That's it, everybody. That's what we got. We'll do a little bit of after show, but for audio listeners, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next week. Goodbye, everybody.
everybody. Goodbye.
Happy Pride.
Nope. Nope. Now there's just that. Beep. And now it's gone. Yeah,
You
we got
deleted the
after
whole-
show.
You deleted the whole podcast.
Ruined the whole show. I had to delete the whole thing. If you got anything for us, go ahead. If you guys at the table have anything you want to say, go right ahead. MomBrain, anything? We don't hear enough
This
from
is-
you, MomBrain. We're talking Zelda, and you gotta be all quiet. Give us almost touch the table.
I'm interested to know if you if either of you are gonna go and play Stray at some point now, maybe you're comfortable enough with a new cat in the house and feeling pretty good. And
Maybe.
I mean, it's been in my backlog to pick it up again. I'm not chomping at the bit,
That's a
but
game I could play
at some point,
alongside schoolwork, and I could
I mean,
pop in and out. It's not
it's
gonna,
kind of
take
low
my life.
stakes. It's pretty
Yeah.
low stakes.
well,
I would say.
I still, I'll give you the answer. I was avoiding this because I didn't want to bring it up. I am sad to report the baby bird did not make it.
Oh, no.
I went back the next day and it was still there and it was no longer with us. So now you might have thought to yourself, if you're a deep lore GoNintendo fan, earlier in today's show, I said when I walk past the manhole, I say 5 names of the pets that have left us. I used to say 4 and now I just say bird at the end because I feel bad for the baby bird. So it's
Did you put the bird in the
Boots,
manhole?
Buddy,
Is it a place to go?
Meadow, Manch, Bird.
Back to the bees.
The bird is one with the earth now.
Did you bury
Nature was already taking its course at that point. So, in other animal-related news, I am king of the ants. I am one with the. I am one with the colony.
Baby bird.
Oh, what are you leaving? Are you scared?
Yeah.
She's not leaving. The ants are
Sending them to
carrying
you
her
right
out.
now.
Can you recall what happened last weekend?
Oh, that's
right
right.
after you
So
got
I was on a walk right here on the sidewalk, like just a few doors down. There was,
Bless you.
I don't know,
That wasn't first.
tens of thousands of
Yeah.
ants in a pile on the sidewalk doing something, and I took a video for
Were they walking in
MomBrain.
circles? That's the death
No, I
spiral.
still got the video, I think. And I was like, what's going on here? And I sent to MomBrain, and I was like, I'm their leader now. They're with me. And then later in the day, MomBrain was laying on a couch, and she's like, ow. And she looked down, and an ant was on her. I was like, I sent him. I did it. 8-Bit Lego says, I just popped in to say in a certain section of
Anthony.
Spider-Verse, my favorite section was animated by a 14-year-old. 8-Bit Lego, private message me. I don't know what one you're talking about. That's awesome.
Wait, so that's the deal with Spider-Verse? It's like every scene is made by a different artist, or
I can't imagine that's the case. I figured this was something special. I'm guessing I know which scene it was, but
which
yeah.
scene?
Don't talk about it.
I can't hear you. Tell me later.
Okay. Yeah, please send me a DM.
Well,
DM me in Discord.
Huh.
Or I guess I could look it up too. That's it. That's all we got. I'm gonna pee. We gotta get Nicky Hill ice cream. It's gonna be a fun little trip.
Yeah, today is actually the 1-year anniversary of my closing. I
Really?
closed on the
We
house
gotta
a year ago. Isn't
celebrate.
that crazy?
Congratulations.
So we've
Thank you
been-
for the link, 8-Bit. All right, everybody. Thanks for watching. That link didn't work for me for some reason. So sorry.
Wow. That goes fast, huh?
That doesn't work for me either. I can go to their account, look it up. I don't want to bother you.
Drive angry.
Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hang out with friends and family. Play some games. Rest. Relax. You deserve it. Thanks for spending part of
Help
your
some
weekend with us.
Koroks.
Help some Koroks. Yeah, haha.
Find their friends and help other people in real life find their friends.
And as we always say from now on at the end of every show, soar long. We're out.
What's so long?